Year-old adolescents, felons, power drinkers, and trustees of modern chemistry.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Were you going to have a party here tonight, son? I don't know what that was all about.
Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
That seducer and spoiler must be stopped. He's extremely dangerous.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You guys know I am a student of pop culture.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Yes, sir.
So we've already got a bunch of texts this morning, even before the show has begun. Welcome in, Recruiting Thursday. You heard Chuck and Quinn there following the win against Texas in 2021. I got great news for you. You're playing them once again in Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium in 2024. For the first time since 1992, the SEC did not hose you. For the first time in 30-plus years, you did not get screwed over by the guys in Birmingham, Alabama. Welcome in. I thought I was going to have to tether. I thought I was going to have to rip those guys in suits and ties. But I'm nothing but ecstatic this morning, Tommy. I am ecstatic about the guys playing in 2024.
That was their big fear, worried about what you would think.
Oh, they're petrified.
Yeah, they were worried about what you would what would Ty Richardson think of this schedule. Hey, it's a fun place to begin this morning. We're brought to you by APAC Arcola. They have immediate openings in North Central Arkansas and Northwest Arkansas. Licensed CDL drivers, equipment operators. If you're a diesel mechanic, they got a great job that pays great, ready for you today. You can go to work as soon as you're ready. You can see all of the jobs that are available at jobs.crh.com. Great pay, great benefits, retirement, profit sharing, everything you can imagine is there for you and your employment. This is a company that often is, celebrating retiring employees who have been there 30, 40, 45 years on a frequent occasion. So it's all at Big Creek Trading, all at APAC Arcola. APAC Arcola, jobs.crh.com. That's jobs.crh.com. APAC is an equal opportunity employer. I was impressed, Ty, with the process the league went with. I really didn't think, going in and out of yesterday's show, they could achieve competitive balance across these schedules. But I think by and large, when you look at it, there's not one that stands out that's just brutally tough and not navigable, or someone got overloaded with too much. And I don't think there's any schedules you look at and you say, boy, that's a layup for anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few that may, you're based on perspective and opinion, and you're guessing what a team's going to be like in, close to 18 months. But I think by and large, you got to give the league credit for the process. We were talking about putting teams in buckets yesterday morning. That's kind of what they did from the way it was explained. They used winning percentages. They took the top four and the bottom four, and they made sure you played some of both. Played a lot of middle. That's what we were discussing, how it should be done yesterday. It's what they did. Never thought of the idea of splitting OU and Texas where no one would play. You play one or the other, but you definitely play one of the two new members of the league. So I say hats off to Sankey and his crew. I thought they did a great job of really creating 16 well laid out, well thought out schedules.
Yeah, I agree with you. Auburn's got a tough schedule. Yep. Oklahoma's got a tough schedule, and Georgia has a much more difficult schedule than they do this season, having to go to Tuscaloosa, which will be the game of the year in most people's minds in 2024.
Yeah, Florida may have the toughest total schedule because of the in-state schools are going to play with Florida State, Miami, and UCF in addition to this league schedule. So, Arkansas is going to play Oklahoma State in 24 at Stillwater, Boone Pickens. So I think you really also got to look at the whole thing with their – they were called the autonomous fives that are on your schedule. Many teams in the league have 11 of those type of games in 2024. So the difficulty of schedules is not easy when you look at the whole picture. And I think Florida is one of those teams that you could make the case their whole schedule might be the toughest schedule in 2024.
So the dates we do know for a fact are as follows. UAPB, start your season in Little Rock again. It's kind of weird. Back-to-back seasons where you do that. Oklahoma State in Stillwater the following weekend, September the 7th. September the 14th against UAB, and then November the 23rd against Louisiana Tech or your non-conference scheduled games at some point. Still don't know where they'll mix and match your home and away. Hopefully it'll be spliced pretty evenly. But again, I thought Arkansas got a fair shake, and I am shocked to say that here on a Thursday morning.
You really believe that, or are you just saying that for red meat?
No, I genuinely got mad at a friend last night who was disappointed with the schedule.
I think
Christian. The first thing out of his mouth was that they didn't get Oklahoma. First thing, Christian.
Well, but you got Texas, and I think the majority of the fan base wanted Texas. I wanted Oklahoma, and I'm biased because of where I grew up and the border I live on is why I wanted them. But I thought that the design, if you get one or the other, but not both, was well done. I'd have preferred Oklahoma for me, but I think the majority of the Razorback fan base clearly would rather have Texas than OU.
I think Texas and OU joining the conference, especially after seeing the schedule, is the best thing for Arkansas because it does balance the schedule. It adds 2 more teams into the mix. It takes some pressure off. Obviously, we don't get Bama or Georgia next year, so that's a plus. I mean, I don't see Texas and OU on their level, but they can be, and we hope they don't get to that level. But right now, I would much rather play Texas and OU.
Did you see that little bead running down the leg of some OU and Texas fans? That was not sweat last night. That was full-blown piss coming down the leg of the OU and Texas fans because when they saw this schedule, they're like, oh, crap, this is for real now.
Yeah.
We're going to have to play these teams? Where's Texas Tech? Where's some of these teams we've been – where's Kansas State and Kansas? I don't see them on the schedule any longer. I think there was a little bit of pee dripping down them legs last night across the Sooner State and around Austin because it's getting real now, boys. And, this is what we've dealt with for 30-plus years. This is what the SEC's known for. These guys it's going to be fun football, but the idea that you're just going to roll them out and win 8 or 9, they're going to face a lot of what we face. How are we going to win 8 or 9 might be the thought, not not by default, which is what OU and Texas have lived with for years out of the Big 12.
Shane texted in about the game against Notre Dame. It's in 2025, Shane, not in 2024. Your big-time, prime-time, non-conference opponent is in Stillwater when you take on Oklahoma State. Now, I think if you look at Oklahoma and Texas, the 2 schedules, Oklahoma has the tougher one. Not to say that Texas is easy, renewing the rivalry with A&M. Well, they'll travel to College Station. They'll play OU in that neutral site game. They're coming to Arkansas, but they do get the Vanderbilt game on the road, which is a little bit of a reprieve. Then they'll play Florida at home, Georgia at home, Kentucky at home, and Mississippi State. Again, Oklahoma host Alabama, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Texas, again in Dallas. And then they go to Auburn, to Jordan-Hare, which I think Hugh Freeze and company by year 2 will be pretty good. LSU, Death Valley, we know how tough it is to play there. Ole Miss, and then Missouri, whatever, which is still a rivalry to Missouri fans, not as much Oklahoma fans. So Oklahoma, guys, has the tougher schedule between the 2 incoming schools.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I like it. We got a lot to think about. Here's what we want to know. What do you think about this schedule? How do you like Arkansas' schedule and maybe some games that stand out to you? Ty and I will get to ours coming up. We're brought to you by World of Wireless. Guys, if nothing else, the schedule and the look at it tells me that if you're going to games, you better have a good DVR to record all the games. World of Wireless can help you with that. It is going to be a fun Saturday when you're at home watching games. Coming up, not just this fall, but every fall, I think just ratchets up. If you're a DirecTV customer, right now you can make the move over to Dish, get a $300 bonus that's exclusively for DirecTV customers. Free installation, all the equipment that includes a 16-tuner DVR. But that $300 bonus is a limited-time offer. There's less than a month left on this offer from Dish. So if you've had DirecTV because you wanted Sunday Ticket, now it's no longer with DirecTV. Don't hang around. Keep paying more. If you've recently canceled, it's not too late. Get your $300 bonus with Dish from World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH. Local installation before the weekend's up. 877-305-3474.
I want some calls this morning. What do you think about 2024? Jump in here. We got all morning to discuss it.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
Yeah, boss, I kind of like that.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Jam-packs house here in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin Tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin Tires to keep you rolling. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith, for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
The Golf Nut has everything you need to make 2023 the best year ever. In stock now, Callaway Paradigm Woods and Irons along with Cobra Aerojet Woods and Irons. Demos are available. Schedule a fitting today. The new Titleist Pro V1s are here. Golf lessons are available. Call the shop and book a time or just play a round of golf on one of the many courses like Pebble Beach or Bethpage Black. Stop by the Golf Nut today, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. Your #1 golf shop since 1994.
Let's talk about Mosquito Joe misting systems. You know, misting systems perfect for homes with really bad mosquito problems you just can't seem to get under control. It's like having a Mosquito Joe technician on your property 24/7. Misting systems are great for homes with pools, patios, and even horse barns, things like that. If you think a misting system might be right for you, give Mosquito Joe a call. Tell us you heard it on ESPN Radio for $200 off your installation. Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey & Hull Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey & Hull understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey & Hull Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Was your roof damaged by recent storms? Don't fall victim to out-of-town contractors and fly-by-night repairmen. Trust the local roofing professionals at Able Roofing. Call their local number, 474-0006, for a free roof inspection. Never trust something as important as the roofing system on your home to a storm chaser. Able Roofing, 474-0006, will work with your insurance company. Call now for your free roof inspection, 474-0006. Able Roofing, the hometown roofers.
Attention car shoppers. In the market for a new ride? Look no further than Road Chevrolet Van Buren, your trusted destination for great selection and unbeatable prices. We have dozens of new Chevrolets on the way, waiting to land in your driveway. Reserve yours today and don't pay 1 penny over MSRP. Have a car to sell? Road Chevrolet wants to buy your car even if you don't buy from us. Getting a hassle-free appraisal only takes a few minutes. Buying or selling a car doesn't have to be a stressful experience when you deal with the pros at Road Chevrolet Van Buren. Prices you'll love, people you can trust.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Ooh, Pig suey, and it's fantastic when people call it. Now, if things aren't going well, sometimes they yell woo pig fooey, and that isn't real good. That's bad luck. Calling hogs, they go suey.
Bryce Stevens standing back in midfield. They come after Albies, and they block it. They block it out of the end zone. That's going to be a safety. Quincy McAdoo, the freshman from Clarendon, blocked it out of the end zone, and it's 21-5.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
That might have been the best football game Quincy McAdoo has ever played in his entire life against Liberty. Had an interception, had that block punt, was special that day. Arkansas ended up losing, unfortunately, to the Flames, who you'll see their head coach this year when the Auburn Tigers come to town. You'll see him next year in Jordan-Hare Stadium. We're going to talk more about this schedule coming up. Got some calls and texts as well as we keep it rolling here on a Recruiting Thursday, Tommy.
Hey, we're brought to you by the Head and Super Spook Jr., made by Pradco right here in Arkansas. I guarantee you someone's listening to us out doing a little fishing before work this morning. Might be out on a Lake Point. If you're in Fort Smith, stop by Jelco. You can find it there. Academy, LureNet.com, and your favorite tackle stores everywhere. It's the Hedden Super Spook Jr.
Let's go to the home of the War Eagles and the Mounties, where Jim is patiently waiting in Rogers. Jim, what's up, man?
Hey, good morning, guys. I got a couple of thoughts, and I agree with Ty. I'm never happy to greet Texas or Oklahoma, but now that they're in our league, it's good to see that because it actually doing away with the divisions, and hopefully the conference, and like you guys said, they did a good job of making schedules, and we're actually happy here in Arkansas, which doesn't happen very often with scheduling at the SEC. But it's a good thing. I'm glad they've done this, and I'm glad they expand. And actually, I could see them expanding more here maybe in the near future. I don't know, maybe with possibilities. Tommy, I'm with you about playing OU. I grew up in Gentry and had a lot of Oklahoma Sooner fans, and my first real game that I remember as a Razorback fan was the 78 Orange Bowl and playing OU. And I remember the sports broadcaster, Chris, I can't remember his last name. He was with Channel 8. It was a big deal. I mean, they covered Arkansas as much as they covered, well, not as quite as much, but as much as they covered Oklahoma, and they kept us in sports because we didn't have a lot of TV. And I'd love to be able to travel 3.5 hours over to Norman, Oklahoma, and watch them play. But I think that'll come around eventually. It may not be an every year thing, but it definitely will come around, and it'll be fun to go over there and play the Sooners.
Yeah, and then they're going to get Oklahoma, or Oklahoma's getting Alabama. I was at that game in, I think it's 2002. Bama and OU played 02 and 03, home and home. And that was an awesome experience. Big time college football. And that, Alabama was in the Francione days. They were not at their best, but I'm just telling you, it felt like Goliath on Goliath that day in that stadium because, I mean, you knew you had two Titans there. So that's what it's going to be like every week now in this league.
Bob Stoops had just won a national championship recently for the Oklahoma Sooners, and again, you mentioned Alabama having Dennis Francione as their head coach rather than one of the guys like Bear Bryant, Gene Stallings, or Nick Saban. It's a little different than I was.
Just three of the all-time greats.
Yeah, listening to Dusty Dvorak last night, who played in that game. He does radio in Oklahoma, and then also does some stuff for ESPN as well. Just the excitement level of getting to play this game. Listen to Tim Tebow, Tommy, talk about the state championship, per se, that you were speaking to with UCF, Florida State, and Miami all on the Gators' schedule. Now, Billy Napier's not the coach that Urban Meyer was, and he doesn't have the roster talent. But that's an excitement level for players. It's scary for coaches because of how difficult that non-conference slate is, but there's an excitement level there. And people are already excited about 2024. We've still got a great season to look forward to in 2023 as well.
Let's not forget the 8 SEC games and the 12 games you're going to play before you even get to this schedule. But there's a lot of excitement. I'm telling you, these OU fans, want to run around, boomer, Sooner, boomer. They're a little beat of sweat. I guarantee if you're going to work next one, they're a little nervous about it. They may put on a good face, but they – seeing Bama, seeing Tennessee, they're used to Texas on there. Seeing LSU, this isn't that Big 12 schedule you're used to. So there's an adjustment period here. Well, this is going to be fun though. I really like it because we can now legitimately talk a little noise with people across the table from us. or in this case, across the border.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about Oklahoma for a second, not in a positive way, in a negative way. Venables comes in last year. Oklahoma had 20-plus years of winning seasons. For the first time in Sooners history in 20-plus years, they're 6-7. They have a losing record. A lot of those seasons, they were 10-plus wins with Stoops and Riley. You have Heisman Trophy winners and finalists under Riley. You had a national championship under Stoops. You had an appearance in 2008 when they lost to the Florida Gators as well. And perennially, if I could say that right, they were winning the Big 12. Then they, again, were horrible last year. And I know he's supposed to be a defensive guru. Venables is. Clemson was great on defense when he was there for the most part. But that was the weakest part of the team last year. Now, I'm not saying he can't get it fixed. I'm not saying he can't get it resolved. But to add to the pink, or not the pink, the yellow stuff that's going down the Oklahoma fans' leg right now, you don't have a Hall of Fame coach. You don't have a whiz kid calling the offense. And then you just expect to walk into the SEC and compete. Man, this could spell trouble next year. You're home. You got to play Bama at home. They're going to curb stop Oklahoma, Tommy.
Well, wait. You were saying they're not going to be good. That they're going to lose 4 at home.
This year, not next year.
Oh, so you've already forecasted how great they're going to.
They don't have a quarterback this year.
I was trying to figure out which side of your mouth you were talking out of at the moment. I couldn't quite cipher that out.
It's never a fake with me. It's always reality. It's always what I actually think. Can you tell me
the scary part?
Can you tell me the last time that Matt made a great point yesterday on halftime? Tell me the last time Alabama's brought in a quarterback after the portal deadline. Tell me the last time that they have been.
Well, we've only had the portal for 3 years.
Tell me the last time that is going to be the weakest position on the team. Like I said, you got to go back all the way to 2015. That's not the same offense. Yeah. Alabama's going to struggle this year. They're going to get back on track next year.
Well, that's just these are the games that TV will demand. These are the games the fans demand. And the league should, because the fans want them, deliver these in the schedule. And I thought by and large they kept all the traditional games intact. They kept, every week should be filled with side. We don't have dates yet, but, we're talking about that, I guess last night they were discussing the Alabama-Georgia game and when it would fall on the schedule. Let me get you want to guarantee? You want to write something down, Ty, that's going to happen? I'm just telling you it's a lock. That game will be played the first or second Saturday in November, Alabama-Georgia in 24. Just write that down. I'm just guaranteeing you, first or second Saturday in November is when that Alabama-Georgia game will be played.
It's in this ironclad head of mine. I'll store it for when the schedule comes out at some point next year.
And according to Ty, Alabama's going to be great by then. Terrible this year, great by
I'll take a step back. Not terrible, but they're taking a step back.
All right, all this excitement, all the fun, all the games coming up. You got to have a great place to stay when you come to Northwest Arkansas. We always stay at the Inn at the Mill. It's an historic property. It's unique. It's not like your chain hotel in any way, shape, or form. You get personal service when you call to make your reservation. They put you in the system. Then you call. You just give them your name and phone number. They get you set up, got all your details there. So whether it's a game on campus, a trip to the AMP, Crystal Bridges, or whatever's going on in Northwest Arkansas, stay at the Inn at the Mill. You'll thank us for doing it. You're going to love your time when you stay at the Inn at the Mill, conveniently located at the Johnson exit. Call 479-443-1800 or online at inatthemill.com.
Richard Davenport next.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
And I'm sure glad that y'all are still able to go to your jobs and help and give us something to do besides talk about the bad stuff.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Are you ready to roll this hay season? WT Equipment in Springdale is, and their
video is powered by the pros at
back on select New Holland tractors, telehandlers.
Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPaschal.com.
Are you ready to give your family the best 4th of July experience yet? USA Fireworks wants to make that happen with the USA Fireworks Bangin' Giveaway. USA Fireworks has helped Arkansans more than 30 years. Go to hitthatline.com/USA Fireworks and enter for your chance to win a fireworks show worth $2,000 retail. Again, hitthatline.com/USA Fireworks. For more information about wholesale prices, go to usafireworks.org.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Rockwell and Orwell are both known for their work from 1984. It's no conspiracy that somebody's watching me, because the terms and agreements that no one reads is the reason there's no privacy. Big Tech is tracking every move you make and is starting to control society and how you participate. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, and Revelation 13 describes a mark for those who fall for this utopian dream. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Read about it.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your championship finals info, stats, news, and scores. Get the latest odds and the latest matchup reports for this year's NBA and Stanley Cup Finals. BetOnline is your sports intel headquarters this season, as we have you covered for all your insider sports wagering needs, from baseball and hockey to MLB, UFC, and boxing. The fastest and easiest way to get all your betting info, including live betting options and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your home. Get in the action today. Head over to our website or use your mobile device to join, and be sure to use our promo code BELIEVE to receive 50% bonus on your first deposit. That's BLEAV. Bet online, where the game starts.
Looking for an African adventure without the hassle of planning? Kruger Safari Club has got you covered. Our custom hunting and safari packages take care of everything from transportation to accommodations, so you can focus on enjoying the experience of a lifetime. With our team's extensive knowledge of the best hunting and safari spots in South Africa, Mozambique, and Zimbabwe, you'll have access to some of the most breathtaking views and exciting game hunting opportunities on the planet. And with our commitment to ethical hunting and giving back to the local community, you'll know that your trip with us is making a positive impact. Book your trip now and let us take care of the rest. Find out more at KrugerSafariClub.com.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business, on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Chuck is a living legend in this state. And anytime I get to talk to Chuck, it's a privilege and an honor to speak to you. And as long as you, Ty, even though you're a little wet behind the ears.
Ball, they fake a pitch left. KJ into the end zone. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Streaming live at hitthatline.com.
Heard that KJ highlight there. I got a couple questions about his eligibility in 2024. Technically, he has one more year. Do I expect him to be back after this season? Probably not. But if you want to hold out for that possibility, it's at least there. We're going to talk with Richard Davenport, all things recruiting coming up. Arkansas David Crackazette and Whole Hog Sports in just a sec. But I want to tell you what's going on at hitthatline.com. It is our USA Fireworks banging giveaway. Chris and Edwin Brewer at USA Fireworks, more than 30 years in the business here in Arkansas. They're local guys, Northwest Arkansas guys, and they want to help you have the best 4th of July yet. A $2,000 retail prize is what they're offering you. $2,000 worth of fireworks. Y'all, if you've seen $2,000 worth of fireworks, it's an unbelievable setup, Tommy. Unreal.
That's a bunch.
Yeah.
That's a bunch. I mean, you'd have a couple of nights worth if you want to break it up, but if not, you could have the show of the subdivision. That's for sure.
Think about your kids. Think about your grandkids. Think about your cul-de-sac, how much fun they would have. And I'm not asking you to put in money or anything. All I'm just asking you is go to hitthatline.com/USA Fireworks. Take 2 minutes out of your day. Sign up for the possibility to win. And listen up. Even if you don't win the prize and you still want to buy wholesale fireworks, go to usafireworks.org and contact them for how to help you, because everyone is a winner when you have USA Fireworks this 4th of July. Again, the USA Fireworks Bangin' Giveaway, courtesy of USA Fireworks, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com. I know this guy always brings in fireworks. That is Richard Davenport of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette and Whole Hog Sports. Richard, if I'm Sam Pittman, I'm texting every recruit that's going to be a freshman in 2024 how excited not only you are to welcome to campus, but the home schedule and the away schedule you have next fall.
Yeah, when you add Texas and Oklahoma to the league, the possibilities are just endless, and just the way the schedule is going to change kind of year to year a little bit, or I think that it just adds a lot of the excitement to the SEC, and you just look at the schedules of each team, and it's just it's pretty crazy. I can imagine just the interest level that people around the country are going to have, even more so in the SEC, just because of the matchups and so many great teams competing against one another, and I think that obviously will bleed over into recruiting.
Yeah, you kind of brought that up because you've got these two blue bloods coming in to the best league in all of college football that produces the most draft picks, that has the best recruiting rankings year after year, and they get the single spotlight last night. I mean, the impact of recruiting, do you see that immediately based off last night? Are kids that much more interested to join an SEC school based on the attention it got paid to?
I don't think the SEC is ever going to have a problem getting the attention of kids around the country, because it's already considered, the premier league in the country for obvious reasons in football. And I just tend to think that, this kind of helps it maybe a little bit more, but I don't think the SEC needs too much more promotion and excitement for SEC football to get the attention of kids throughout the country.
Yeah. So what does this do specifically in Oklahoma? Arkansas has always recruited Texas well, but now Arkansas and Oklahoma, I know it's not the 24 schedule, but they're going to play, at least 2 out of 4 years, I would presume, moving forward from 25. What does this do for Arkansas's presence in the Sooner State, and do you think you'll see Arkansas landing more kids out of Oklahoma now that they'll play more regularly, and the SEC is maybe a little more in the limelight with kids in the state of Oklahoma?
I think it definitely helps, especially against Oklahoma State. I think that's an area that you're going to see some kids, kind of weigh their options, and if it's Arkansas and Oklahoma State battle, Arkansas may get the edge because of that. Arkansas doesn't beat Oklahoma that often for kids, but sometimes they do for kids inside the state. A lot of times it's all about the fit and what the offensive defensive schemes are, and if it fits them better. And sometimes Arkansas just out recruits Oklahoma. That's happened a few times for kids that Oklahoma wanted. So I think it does definitely head-to-head matchups against Oklahoma State kind of helps Arkansas.
Yeah, I just think Tulsa's been an area because of the proximity to Fayetteville. It's always been a spot. I just think it brings more of the state in, and then you got a head coach that's got deep roots in that state. You've had a defensive coordinator in the past with Barry Odom that did as well. He's no longer there, but I imagine they've built some decent inroads at some different spots in the state outside of the Tulsa metro.
Yeah, and you said it. It's so close to Oklahoma, Fayetteville, and kids. I mean, the knowledge of the Arkansas program from Oklahoma kids is pretty strong because there's media coverage in Oklahoma, and they a lot of times kids will camp over here for summer camps, and it's easy for them to come over here and visit for a game. So the possibilities have always been pretty strong for Arkansas getting kids out of Oklahoma. But I do believe that this with Oklahoma coming into the league, it does kind of help a little bit more.
Richard, Arkansas did get a commitment yesterday, but it kind of got buried amongst all the scheduling talk. Arcari Johnson from Pleasant Grove down there in Texarkana plays cornerback and quarterback. Looks like he's going to be a cornerback and a D-back in college. What can you tell us about the latest commit for the class of 2024?
Outstanding athlete that obviously a lot of times guys in high school that are the best athlete on the team, they play quarterback, and that's exactly what he does for Pleasant Grove. And like you said, he'll play in the defensive backfield at quarterback. But he visited over last weekend, and you got the sense that he was. When you talk to kids in person, a lot of times you get to see their body language. You get to see when they're how excited they are. You can't sense that over the phone, but that's the good thing about official visits and being able to talk to kids in person. I got the sense that Arkansas was in really, really good shape with him, and obviously that led to him committing. But he's about 5'11", 6 foot, about 180. Typical size of a lot of cornerbacks, but outstanding athlete who's rated a 3-star right now. But obviously, as time goes on, the rankings are updated, and we may see an upgrade in that area.
I know he played the same high school as Landon Jackson. Landon's got a little brother that Arkansas is recruiting as well. You think about Ryan Mallett, Kobe Hamilton, Dennis Johnson. I know LaMichael James didn't play at Arkansas, but he was an outstanding running back for Oregon in that area as well. Is there a growth down there in high school? Or are you seeing Arkansas concentrate more in the Texarkana area and getting more kids?
They're definitely looking in that area and in East Texas more so. They focused on East Texas a little bit more during the spring evaluation period. I think that's a great idea. Arkansas historically has always done well in the Texarkana and East Texas area. So I was really happy to see that, and I think that's going to help them going forward because it's a short trip. Let's face it. I mean, you want to recruit the areas that are closest to your campus, and that's Texarkana and East Texas is one of them, and there's so much talent down there.
Richard, I want to ask you about the camps that have been going on in a few minutes, but we'd be remiss not to ask you about Deion Stutz and the news that's several days past us at this point. But Arkansas lost one of their commits in a very tragic ATV accident last weekend. And tell us a little more about the person Deion Stutz was. Certainly just saddens anyone that's got a heart at all that when you see the life of an 18-year-old snuffed out in such an accidental and sudden way.
Yeah, I got a call, about it, and when you hear about a young man or a young person at that age, and they pass from an accident or what have you, it's just a complete shock, and I was just stunned, obviously, just like everybody else, and it hurts even more so when you get to know the kid and how good of a kid he is. He had such a bright future, and so many times when somebody passes away, you hear good things, and sometimes you wonder if it's legit or not. It's legit with Deion. He was a great kid. I just loved communicating with him. He's one of those type kids that was so grateful for his opportunities, and he was such an impressive young man. He's a country boy, lived on the farm, and I kind of told him, you're kind of a throwback. You're a guy that has old fashioned values. He was old school in his thinking, and when he was being recruited by Arkansas, when he committed to Arkansas, he told Coach Adams, he said, "Coach, don't worry about me. Don't be calling me. Don't waste your time with me. You focus on the other guys that you need. I'm not going anywhere." And when Deion said that, I guarantee you, he meant that 100%. Some kids, when they'll announce that they're 1,000 committed to a school, and then they end up flipping at some point. That wasn't going to happen with Deion. He was just a delight to talk to, refreshing. He was a leader at his school, and he was going to be a leader at the University of Arkansas. And he was going to be a leader in life. He was going to be a great father, great husband. And when you lose somebody like that, man, it hurts. It hurts because he had such a great future, and he will be missed, and it's just tough.
Yeah, certainly. Sad and tragic. Just someone's life being taken that soon. All right, let's talk about the camps that have been going on. I know there was a lot of focus on that, and particularly when Kane Archer from Greenwood and some of the quarterbacks were videoed and photographed working with Dan Enos. They've had a lot of day camps. They had the lineman camp, I guess, was yesterday. So give us an update on the camps that have been going on right now with the Arkansas staff.
Yeah, you talk about the Archers and Grayson Wilson, the 25 commitment from CAC. They were here on Sunday, and yesterday Cody Taylor from Greenwood worked out. An impressive kid who's just a 26 kid, will be going into his sophomore year for the Bulldogs, and he's got all kinds of attention from so many schools around the country, and obviously Arkansas, one of them. Just a delightful kid with obviously the talent to get, and the size to get the attention of so many schools around the country. He's been making his rounds, and he's going to be going to a few other schools after Arkansas. I know Virginia Tech's one of them. You also had Braylon Wilson. He wasn't camping yesterday, but he was on campus for a 7-on-7 with Benton. And he'll be back this weekend for an official visit. Everybody obviously interested in the 4-star running back for the Panthers, who will be visiting Tennessee after Arkansas. And he's visited South Carolina and Baylor before this weekend. But more camps today, Friday and Saturday, and then it'll wrap. There'll be another lineman camp on next Wednesday. Just a lot of kids on campus. Usually about, I'm going to estimate there's probably about 150 linemen yesterday. I didn't get the exact number, but usually there's about 200 kids at the other camps. So, a ton of kids in town for those. And then you're going to have some unofficial visits also coming in for the next few days too, along with all the official visits that are slated to come in on Friday for this weekend. I already talked about Braylon and Russell, but there'll be 8 others too. So very busy time for Coach Pittman and the staff.
Yeah, should be a fun-filled Father's Day weekend on the Hill. Richard, always good to visit with you. Happy Father's Day this weekend, and we'll catch up next Thursday for another Recruiting Thursday here on the Morning Rush.
Sounds good. See you guys.
All right, Richard Davenport catching us up. I just think recruiting's going to get even more. It's just going to ratchet up and go to another level, Ty, because with OU and Texas, we've never really been too much into where you're competing on those recruits and you pay attention to it like they do in other places in the conference, particularly in the state of Alabama. I think we're getting ready to see a recruiting era where it ratchets up to the point where it's far more a 12-month sport in this than it already is.
You're exactly right, Tommy. I can't disagree with that at all.
I think the recruiting conversations are going to get a lot more intense. Hey, we're brought to you by Farm Credit this morning. If you've got a balloon or a variable interest rate loan, interest rates are very uncertain right now. Boy, you read different reports whether the rate's going to maintain, go up. I think the Some are optimistic they'll go down, and I don't think that's going to be reality anytime soon. Farm Credit can lock in a long-term fixed rate, so you don't have to worry about the fluctuations in the marketplace when it comes to borrowing money. In fact, they've got the longest terms in the ag industry right now. And if rates do drop, you can do the evaluation, and you can easily refinance with Farm Credit with no additional fees. They're not going to charge you a new application or a new appraisal or new title work. They just make it simple to do business with Farm Credit. So if you need some help in this regard when it comes to your borrowing for your agricultural operation, see our friends at Farm Credit. There's an office near you. You can find one online at myaglender.com. That's myaglender.com. Farm Credit is an equal housing lender.
Franks pumps once. He wanted to go deep. Everybody was covered. Now he's going to heave it downfield. He's got Burks at the 20, complete. Trailing inside the 10. Burks is at the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas!
That was 2020 when the Tennessee Volunteers came into town. Now, they were headed up by Jeremy Pruitt then. Now they're headed up by Josh Heupel, who seems to have things rolling in Knoxville. They're one of the 4 opponents coming in here in 2024, along with the Ole Miss Rebels, the LSU Tigers, and the Texas Longhorns. There is a legitimate debate and a legitimate conversation around this being the best home conference schedule you have ever had with the Longhorns, the Vols, the Tigers, and the Rebs. Tommy, I cannot wait. I know I'm really excited. 79 days out for this year, but this was a huge, huge talking point amongst me and some Morning Rush listeners yesterday is our excitement for next year as well.
What did you get in this schedule for 24 that you wanted, and what did you not get that you'd like to have seen on the schedule?
Well, I just go back. That's a great question, and I want y'all to answer, not just me. Tommy will answer it. I'll answer it. 877-377-6963. So I went back and I looked at what I wanted yesterday. I had Ole Miss, which I got, LSU, which I got, Tennessee, which I got, and we both had Oklahoma. Didn't get that. But we got Texas, which is the equivalent, if not more important for most people. Then, on the away games, I wanted A&M in Arlington. Got that. I wanted Texas on the road. We got them at home, so I'm okay with that. Missouri, of course, we got that. And you got Auburn and Mississippi State, which I don't think Mississippi State's going to be any good under Dave Arnett or Zach Arnett. And I will say that Auburn game's going to be tough against Hugh Freeze in year 2 because I think you'll have a quarterback rolling. This is a great schedule for Arkansas. You avoided Georgia. You avoided Alabama. I don't have really any complaints this morning, man.
Yeah, I felt fortunate to see both Mississippi schools on the schedule. I think that is something you've been used to for over 30 years, and I think they match up well historically. There have been times that Arkansas has been better, and times certainly Ole Miss and Mississippi State have been better. But I think it's always we've talked about if you can win those games, you're probably going to have an 8-win or better schedule. If you lose those games, it's maybe hard to make a bowl. So having those teams on your schedule, split like they've always been, one home, one on the road, I think is good. Got to continue to see LSU. You think about it, you didn't get OU, which was the team I was hoping to see, but you got LSU, so you got the state to the south, you got Missouri and the state to the north, you got Texas twice, the state of Texas on your schedule. So I think there's a lot of things to be excited about. And I told you yesterday I thought that A&M game would be on there, and they would play that last one at Arlington. That's indeed what's going to happen. And I guess now we know kind of what the finality of that series, the Southwest Classic, is going to look like, and it'll be, I guess, in 24 there at Arlington.
Yeah, and I loved the schedule. You avoided Alabama, and I think that's what most people wanted. If you had to pick one thing about the 2024 schedule, avoid Alabama if possible. You get Texas at home again. And now as far as Missouri goes, I know there's a lot of Arkansas fans that don't respect Missouri, don't think we should play them, all that. Look, you better learn to respect Missouri because they'll keep beating you. And in this conference, you need that win. You have got to turn the tide somehow. Yeah. I know it's not a rivalry like we view A&M, but, we got to figure out how to get that win because we'll need it.
No, you're right. I mean, we talked about the 3 M's for a couple of years. I think Clay may have coined the phrase here on the show back
he needs
in the
royalties
COVID
for
season.
That. He needs royalties for it.
Missouri, Ole Miss, or Mississippi, and Mississippi State. If you can win 2 of those 3, you're probably going to have an okay season. You win all 3 of those games, you're going to have probably a chance at really getting to 9 wins in a lot of years.
Yeah.
So Those are three important swing games on the Arkansas schedule when you play those three year in, year out, and they're on the 24 schedule. So you're right, Christian, that Arkansas's got to learn to take that game more seriously. And I think from the outside looking in, it appears like, I don't know if the players feel this way, but it appears like Missouri wants that game more than Arkansas in too many of the matchups.
You have never won in Columbia, Missouri.
That's got to change.
You have never won in Columbia, Missouri.
And should have a couple of times.
Yes, and you blew a couple of games. So hopefully that changes in 2024. BU matched up and pitted against them every single year. Got a question about, I think it was JB and Springdale earlier, about the three permanent opponents. JB, that was within the 9-game conference schedule, which many of us think will happen starting in 2025. But with the 8-game schedule, you just have one permanent opponent, and that is the Missouri Tigers. Rick and Fayetteville asking another good question. The question that I asked yesterday. Kentucky hasn't been here since 2012. Why didn't they get on the schedule this year? It's something Tommy brought up earlier, the kind of splicing out the good teams and bad teams winning percentage, I think plays into it. I'm a little surprised that the Wildcats aren't on your home schedule, but let's just be honest. Now, it's different with the basketball team rolling in here, but you'd much rather have the Tennessee Volunteers coming in to Fayetteville than you would Kentucky. Not that one game wouldn't be more winnable than the other. Kentucky would be more winnable than Tennessee, but you'd much rather see the Vols, Tommy.
Talk about 8 versus 9. I look at these schedules and look how marquee these games are, and I don't know what the rest of the college football world, how they evaluate and look at this, but I don't know how you could say that the SEC is not playing good football games. Is there a need for 9 as far from the standpoint, not financially, but do you, after looking at these schedules and to see what the league's able to put together on an 8-game slate, do you need 9 to be nationally competitive? I mean, I'd say no, because I think there's plenty of high-powered matchups in this league to prove the worth of your schedule. I'm not sure 9's needed from a postseason standpoint. We may have to get a year or two into a 12-game or 12-team format tied before we really know the answer, but I think the league's plenty competitive with an 8-game schedule.
I was screaming that a couple weeks ago, you and Chuck, and you guys were on the.
Well, you hadn't seen the schedule.
I am going to try and convince you guys fully by the end of the year. All right, by the end of next year, this is the way to go when the SEC gets 4 or 5 teams in the college football playoff because of the caliber matchups that you're getting each and every week that you just laid out. I do not understand outside of the financial aspect, which the SEC is only trailing the Big Ten, and I guess I have to see the differential. I got to see the numbers of how much the differential is between each school in both the Big Ten and the SEC, but that's the only argument, the only one. I can't get behind the idea that they're going to put a 9-3 Big Ten team over a 10-2 SEC team. I cannot get behind that until it's in front of my eyes, and I don't think it's going to happen, Tommy.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, what do you think? We want to take your calls and get your thoughts. We'll have room in the next hour of the Morning Rush for plenty of that. We're brought to you by The Fence Man, the company we trust with any kind of fencing project. They're looking for more people to join their team. If you've got at least a year's industry experience in the fence building, if you've got welding skills, you've got warehouse and yard experience, they're looking for people just like you. They got a couple of different positions open. They need another crew to add to their team. They got so much work, and they'd love for you to stop by and apply in person. No calls, no emails, just apply in person. They want to look you in the eye. So stop in 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. That's 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith, and apply for a career with The Fence Man, who is an equal opportunity employer.
Hour 2 coming up. Like Tommy said, your calls, your texts are welcome. What do you think of Arkansas in 2024?
Tommy Smith for Bet Saracen.
Hey, if you're like me and enjoy putting a little something on your favorite sporting event, then get Bet Saracen. Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 sports betting app. Download the app or go to BetSaracen.com.
Tommy, you want to do the recording real quick?
I finally upgraded my 20-year-old flip phone so I can actually play too.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hog fans, this is Robert.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Hey, y'all know what?
What?
We are...
Just keep the headphones in program, and that way the Sling's still getting that audio, not my audio.
Yep, I'm very proud that we're all from Arkansas, plus we're University of Arkansas graduates.
Mom, Dad, you guys are right. We do have great fans and great teams, and we don't have to ask permission from corporate to get what Hog fans want. We are corporate.
But not everybody can get to Fayetteville, so we invented them WW Interwebs face Grammy thingies.
You mean website. Wow, Mom, he can't.
All right. Football Friday, we're back here on the Morning Rush, ESPN 104.3. We'll talk more about the SEC football schedules. We'll get your SEC update here in just a second and look ahead to the games that are coming up later today at the College World Series.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Are you ready to give your family the best 4th of July experience yet? USA Fireworks wants to make that happen with the USA Fireworks Bangin' Giveaway. USA Fireworks has helped Arkansans more than 30 years. Go to hitthatline.com/USA Fireworks and enter for your chance to win a fireworks show worth $2,000 retail. Again, hitthatline.com/USA Fireworks. For more information about wholesale prices, go to usafireworks.org.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got trophies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite, white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Rockwell and Orwell are both known for their work from 1984. It's no conspiracy that somebody's watching me, because the terms and agreements that no one reads is the reason there's no privacy. Big Tech is tracking every move you make and is starting to control society and how you participate. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, and Revelation 13 describes a mark for those who fall for this utopian dream. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Read about it.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your championship finals info, stats, news, and scores. Get the latest odds and the latest matchup reports for this year's NBA and Stanley Cup Finals. BetOnline is your sports intel headquarters this season, as we have you covered for all your insider sports wagering needs, from baseball and hockey to MLB, UFC, and boxing. The fastest and easiest way to get all your betting info, including live betting options and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your home. Get in the action today. Head over to our website or use your mobile device to join, and be sure to use our promo code BELIEVE to receive 50% bonus on your first deposit. That's BLEAV. Bet online, where the game starts.
Looking for an African adventure without the hassle of planning? Kruger Safari Club has got you covered. Our custom hunting and safari packages take care of everything from transportation to accommodations, so you can focus on enjoying the experience of a lifetime. With our team's extensive knowledge of the best hunting and safari spots in South Africa, Mozambique, and Zimbabwe, you'll have access to some of the most breathtaking views and exciting game hunting opportunities on the planet. And with our commitment to ethical hunting and giving back to the local community, you'll know that your trip with us is making a positive impact. Book your trip now and let us take care of the rest. Find out more at KrugerSafariClub.com.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yeah.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Texas tonight. They have manhandled the Longhorns and won it by a final of 40-21. I will tell you that security is bringing down the goalposts before the fans have a chance to do it. Security's bringing down the goalposts because the field is filling. What a scene tonight at Razorback Stadium in Fayetteville.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
40-year-old adolescents, felons, power drinkers, and trustees of modern chemistry.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Were you going to have a party here tonight, son? I don't know what that was all about.
Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
That seducer and spoiler must be stopped. He's extremely dangerous.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You guys know I am a student of pop culture.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Yes, sir.
And welcome in to a Recruiting Thursday, hour 2 of the Morning Rush. Arkansas's 2024 opponents are out there. Pretty nice. So you know you're going to play on August the 31st, UAPB in Little Rock. September the 7th, you'll go to Stillwater, play Oklahoma State. 14th, UAB. And then the 23rd, Louisiana Tech, those games in Fayetteville. And again, this is 2024. And your home games, you like your home games. LSU, Ole Miss, Tennessee. And the call from Chuck and Quinn just there with Texas. Also coming in, away games, going to Jordan-Hare Stadium to take on Auburn, Starkville, Mississippi State, up there to Columbia and Missouri, and down there to Jerry World to take on Texas A&M. Tommy, Arkansas and Texas are the only two schools with just 3 true road games next year.
We'll break down more of the schedule. We want to hear your thoughts as well. You can join in the conversation this morning. It's brought to you by our friends at Modular Orange. They create great-looking business websites to make you stand out in the crowd. How do you get found online? And when they do find you, is your website inviting and ready to transact business? These are things that you should be asking and discussing within the 4 walls of your company. And if your website's not inviting and exciting for a new customer or a new lead, you're missing out on business. How much is that costing you? For $95 a month, that problem can be solved with Modular Orange. They do all the technical stuff. They do all the copywriting. They take care of every aspect of designing, securing, hosting, every element of your website with no hidden fees, no hidden cost. So if you've been looking for a partner and a solution when it comes to building a website for your business, we found one for you. It's Matchstick Studios and their product called Modular Orange. See it for yourself online at modularorange.com. It's not too good to be true. It really is. Only $95 a month. Call 479-755-3043. That's 755-3043, or again online at modularorange.com.
Didn't get Oklahoma. I know that's been the only pushback that I've really seen about this schedule. You might get him in 2025. We'll see. You did get Texas. I didn't think you're going to get them at home after playing them in 2021. So that's a benefit of this schedule. You don't got to play Alabama. First time since 1992 that you haven't had to play the Crimson Tide. First time since 2007 you will not see Nick Saban on your regular schedule. At least I'm holding out for an SEC championship appearance, but we'll have to wait and see. So, Tommy, I was fully expected to come in here ticked off this morning, but I'm in a good mood, honestly. Not beefing at all.
I thought that the league did a great job of balancing everyone's schedules. and that's an impossible task with 16 teams. We didn't know what the formula was going to be until we got some insight last night. We were talking about something that ultimately sounds like they took that approach with the winning percentages over, was it a 4-year period, and then tried to match up the schools with some of the top 4 teams, some of the bottom 4 teams, and then a lot of the middle 8 teams. That's exactly what we said. They went about it with a little more of a metric approach, but that, and then I never thought about the idea of making sure everybody plays either OU or Texas. So everybody got one or the other, and that's a good introduction to the league for both of those schools, as they'll get a good variety. You were hoping to see both if you're a Razorback fan. That seemed a bit greedy. I wanted Oklahoma more than Texas, but that's my personal bias. I think for the majority of the Razorback fan base, you got the team you wanted exactly, and you got them in your stadium, got them on your campus, and that's the Texas Longhorns. Everybody was worried that, we're going to get Florida, we're going to get Georgia, and we're going to get Alabama, and you end up not getting any of those teams. So I think everyone's expectations was a much more difficult schedule than you got, and this seems like a fun, exciting schedule we'll all get to enjoy. Got to play the 12 you got this year first, but this is going to be fun.
Tanner and Tupelo is surprised like we are that Texas not only wound up in your schedule, but at home once again. I think the first time you played back-to-back Texas games in Fayetteville in quite some time. So that's an exciting aspect to look for. Think about this, y'all. Your 4 biggest rivals, in my opinion, are on the schedule in 2024. Number 1's Texas. Number 2's LSU. Number 3 is Ole Miss. And I know it differs maybe for some of you, but I would say that A&M, the way that they beat you, and I know that Arkansas still has the series history in their favor, but I would put A&M at 4. All 4 of those games are on your schedule. The only one that's away, per se, is in Jerry World. I don't know how you complain about this schedule.
And you could even argue Missouri is a rival game. I know it's kind of contrived in a shotgun marriage, and then Tennessee, while not considered recently a rivalry game, it was for years to many Razorback fans because for half your life in this league, you played them year in, year out. So there is a lot of history and tradition with all those schools, and then you can talk about Mississippi State. So I really like this schedule. I mean, it's fun, and I just don't live in a utopian world where I think, hey, this is the schedule we need for a national title, or even making the 12-team playoff. I just want to be entertained. I want to be excited, and it's like having a great vacation, Ty. One of the great things about a vacation is you plan it and then you anticipate it, and then it finally gets here. It's like Christmas. So, I mean, now we know the plans. So now we've planned this trip to Tahiti or wherever, Fiji, and now we just got to wait for it to get here. Now we got one more trip to do. That's this season, but that's the fun of vacation is the anticipation. That's the fun of this newly formed and expanded league. The anticipation of these games that are coming up.
I've wanted to go to Charleston, South Carolina for 2 to 3 years now, and I'm finally getting to August 11th. You told me about a good barbecue place out there, and I'm counting down the days, man, so I completely get that.
But it's the anticipation, isn't it?
No,
that's as much fun as enjoying it.
And to your point about the playoff, this is a schedule that can get you in the college football playoff because you got to add Oklahoma State in all this as well. So not only do you have something to anticipate with an incredible home schedule, not an insanely difficult away schedule because Alabama and Georgia aren't on there, but you also have a potential to make that if things just fall into every nook and cranny, every single right place on that. I cannot wait. Now, I'm excited about this year. Again, 79 days out, but 2024 is going to be rocking here in Fayetteville.
Oh, it's going to be great. And, ticket offices and those within the athletic department, beyond the athletic director, who's responsible for selling and marketing tickets, have to be excited at all 16 places. I mean, you look at Georgia's schedule. They've got just a monster schedule. But you look at Texas and who they're going to welcome in. I mean, they get Florida and Georgia year after this one, next year. Florida and Georgia on your home schedule? You kidding me? That's great for Texas.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. Listen, it's Arkansas, as long as they don't burn it down this year and go like 5-7, 4-8, take it off as foundation. Don't have to do jack and into the next season. They don't have to do anything. They say, hey, here's the schedule. You want to renew or not? Mm-hmm. Hey, here's the season ticket price. Do you want them or not? I mean, they do not have to do anything. heading into 2024, as long as they hold a little bit of weight this year.
Wouldn't hurt if you'd won 8 or 9 this year. That might, might help that job be a little easier than you're describing it. All right, we got more to get to. Again, your calls and texts are welcome. Getting plenty of texts. We want to hear from somebody on this morning. We had a couple of calls in the first hour. What's your thoughts? We got time for it coming up. 877-377-6963. Tomorrow is Fajita Friday at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Steak fajitas, chicken fajitas on special. $10 for the chicken, $11 for the steak. I like the steak better. They use really good quality meat, and you get all the sides, all the fixings that you'd expect to come with a fajita special. Today is taco burgers and the Bang Bang barbecue sandwich that you can try at Joe's Grill. And then Saturday, dollar tacos all day. It's all at Joe's Grill and Cantina. They are on South 74th Street in Fort Smith.
When we come back, like Tommy said, I want to call. What do you think about this home schedule in 2024?
Find us on 99.5 and 1290 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, 97.1 in Camden and South Arkansas, and everywhere on hitthatline.com.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Say goodbye! Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hey there, Sue here from the paint store in Van Buren. Don't dread that painting project. Let us guide you through with stellar results. YouTube doesn't know what we know. Our Richards paint, Corona brushes, and Whiz tools make for a great finish. Stellar is your coupon code. The paint store in Van Buren, we have M&M certified grass-fed beef too. 1414 Fayetteville Road, Van Buren.
Doe's Eat Place, serving award-winning steaks, has now added lobster tail and salmon to the menu. You can also enjoy delicious appetizers along with your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Doe's Eat Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Call 784-9111. That's 784-9111. Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Family first. My dad used to tell us that all the time. But family first wasn't just something he'd say to us. It was how he lived every day of his life. And it's how I try to live mine too.
At Shelter Insurance, our agents are dedicated to helping provide personalized auto, home, and life protection that puts your family first.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Barley.
Attention car shoppers. In the market for a new ride? Look no further than Road Chevrolet Van Buren, your trusted destination for great selection and unbeatable prices. We have dozens of new Chevrolets on the way, waiting to land in your driveway. Reserve yours today and don't pay 1 penny over MSRP. Have a car to sell? Road Chevrolet wants to buy your car even if you don't buy from us. Getting a hassle-free appraisal only takes a few minutes. Buying or selling a car doesn't have to be a stressful experience when you deal with the pros at Road Chevrolet Van Buren. Prices you'll love, people you can trust.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
With over 40 years combined experience, the team at the law offices of Craig L. Cook understand the definition of work, real work, working for you. Whether you've been injured in an auto accident, on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help navigating bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook, with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
This is Ty Richardson. When I think of rich history and tradition in Fort Smith, I think of Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria has won the best pizza and bar in Fort Smith the past 25 straight years. So if you want to experience legendary pizza, awesome drinks, and memories for a lifetime, swing by Papa's, 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. It's time for the Red River Dodge Morning Rush Daily Question. Red River Dodge in Heber Springs, Arkansas's #1 Ram dealer. Log on at redriverdodge.com.
Your Honor, I'd like to ask for a recess. I'd like an answer to the question, Judge.
The court will wait for an answer.
It's an easy question this morning. What do you think of the schedule? 877-377-6963. As Tommy said, we got plenty of texts. Got a couple calls as well. I want to hear someone put quote-unquote pen to paper. I want to hear someone boisterously say, hey, this is what I think, Ty. This is what I think, Tommy. And if you disagree, you don't think it's a good schedule, I want to hear you as well. Brad in Fayetteville, he's thinking it's Christmas morning seeing Texas on the schedule at home again. Aaron in Wichita calls it an A++ schedule. Again, your 4 biggest rivals are on the schedule. 3 of them are at home. 1 of them's at Jerry World. I don't know how you can dislike this schedule, Tommy. I really don't.
I'd like to hear from someone that thinks we got the shaft. I don't know, maybe that person doesn't exist because, we were all kind of expecting. I think because our expectations were Georgia and Alabama and Florida and Texas and OU and LSU. I think we thought we were going to have a murderer's row. So maybe everyone's expectations have been exceeded with the balance of the schedule. But, what do you think? I like having LSU again on the schedule. That's a traditional game that Arkansas is used to playing. Glad it's on there. Both Mississippi schools. Tennessee was a regular for years. They're on this schedule. Texas is the one I think most of our fans wanted to see. You continue to play Auburn. We'll see where their program's headed, but I think Auburn's a good fit for Arkansas' schedule. You mentioned A&M, Missouri we knew was going to be on there, so I don't know how you could have a ton of qualms with this. And really from any fan base's perspective, I mean, Georgia gets Florida and Tennessee at home, but they've got to go on the road to Bama and Texas. That's not easy to navigate. LSU may have – in some ways, the easiest schedule because everyone looks at, who'd Vanderbilt get, which might be unfair, but they get Vanderbilt at home, South Carolina on the road, but they play LSU will get Bama at home, like I said, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, and Vandy. Road games, Arkansas, Florida, South Carolina, A&M. So I think for a program that is not just eyeing the 12-team playoff but a national championship, that's a very manageable schedule. Mainly because you get Bama at home in what is perceived, at least at this point, the toughest game next year, maybe on this side of the conference.
Jamie says he wanted both Oklahoma and Texas. I did too. You didn't get them. Hopefully you'll get Oklahoma in 2025. Matt says he loves the schedule. He'd likes to beat them or swap in Auburn for Oklahoma. That would be his only qualm. Again, you're going to Auburn. You would like to go to Norman. Text out of the 479, just happy about not having to play Bama this next season. You'd have to play them in Tuscaloosa at Bryant-Denny this year, but you will not have to play Alabama for the first time since 92, and you avoid the top dog, Georgia Bulldogs.
Now, this did, the guys on the panel last night on the SEC Network didn't bring up Auburn when discussing most difficult schedules, but when I saw theirs, I thought, well, if anyone has a complaint, it's the Auburn Tigers. They go on the road to Bama and to Georgia. That's brutal. Mm-hmm. Not only to have to play them both, but visit both Athens and Tuscaloosa. You knew they were going to play Bama, but to get Georgia in there, I mean, that's a traditional rivalry game. That's one of the Deep South's oldest rivalry. But they also get Oklahoma. Now they get that at home. They still play A&M. Kentucky, you don't know what you're going to get there. Last year they were very tough for a majority of the season. They also get Missouri on the road. So that's a manageable pair of road games to go with what seems like two impossible road games. Vanderbilt at home helps balance some of that, and they also play A&M at home. But I think you could make a case that Auburn's got as difficult an 8-game conference slate as anyone in this league in 2024.
You won't get much blowback from me on that one, and that's one of the things that Gus Malzahn complained about. I think Alan Green, if I remember that correctly, their former athletics director, was kind of on that same boat, having to play both the Bulldogs and the Crimson Tide in the same year. And with it being the Deep South's oldest rivalry and the Iron Bowl, two of the most prestigious games in the history of the Southeastern Conference, Sankey wanted those two. And Auburn is just on the bat. Now, when those games are both at home, it's awesome for Jordan-Hare Stadium and the fans down there. But it ain't fun. We got to go on the road to Dooley Stadium, between the hedges, and you got to go to Tuscaloosa and Bryant-Denny. No one wants to do that.
You can't be the SEC if you don't play those games.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not the SEC if you're not going to play the Iron Bowl and the Deep South's oldest rivalry. So, I mean, Auburn right now is not in the spot they have always been in historically. Maybe they'll get back to that, but they've had flashes at moments, but that's just part of the the tradition they built there. So, but I think Auburn's schedule's as difficult and steep as maybe anyone's. All right, what's the games you like the most? What's some things you're circled in on? Let's hear your thoughts this morning. That's your Red River Dodge Morning Rush Daily Question. Red River Dodge is in Heber Springs. They are Arkansas's #1 Ram dealer. You can log on at redriverdodge.com.
Now, let's talk to Tom Murphy on the Morning Rush.
Tom, I know 2020 didn't shake out in terms of scheduling for Razorback football, but I did not see a lot of complaints last night from Razorback fans. I saw a lot of excitement. What do you think about the outlook for Razorbacks in 2024 based on the schedule that was presented last night with home and away opponents?
Yeah, good morning, guys. It's a fun day because every fan base probably has something to discuss, the pros and the cons. I saw somebody describe it as Arkansas did not get a elbow from the top rope from the SEC. But I have to say, I really thought they would wind up with Kentucky, which was originally on the schedule, which they played fewest of any team from the crossover, or Vanderbilt after what happened to them in 2020. But they got Tennessee. So I do think maybe if you have both the Mississippi schools, that maybe getting Vanderbilt on top of that would have been seen as, unbalanced. So who knows what Tennessee will be in 2024? We know that in 2022, with Hendon Hooker at quarterback, they were a dynamo that beat Alabama. So I would say that getting Texas at home was probably, a little bit of a laurel from the SEC, which was wonderful. But all in all, I mean, Alabama is off the schedule, so I just think it probably doesn't rank in the top half of the difficulty of the SEC, somewhere around the midpoint.
Mm-hmm. You and I had the same line of thinking about Kentucky, being that they hadn't been here since 2012, being that they were scheduled to be here in 2024. But I want to ask you about the prospect of better potential wins versus big-time matchups. Kentucky on paper would be an easier football game. Tennessee's going to have Nico Ilmueva at quarterback. He's a 5-star young man out of Cali. He's got one of the best arms out of high school I've ever seen. He's probably going to have a pretty good, successful year or two in Tennessee. So how do you, Tom, looking at Arkansas' schedule year after year, how do you balance what fans want at home versus the prospect of winning those games? How do you look at that?
Well, exactly. And here's the thing. No matter what you get, there's going to be a meat grinder element to your schedule, and how you deal with injuries and other teams are dealing with their injuries plays a part in everything. It's hard to project 2 years down the line because a year before Josh Heupel got to Tennessee, if you draw them with Jeremy Pruitt at coaching, then that's a good draw. So Arkansas in 2020, Tennessee was already on the schedule, but at that time that was a good game for them. Tennessee in 2024, a tougher game. And, your strength of schedule is going to be fine. If you have 1 or 2 losses, you got a good shot at making the college football playoff in 2024. I like Arkansas' schedule. You kept all your trophy games, and you have one of them at home in LSU, and I did not anticipate that game going away, nor did I anticipate the A&M game going away. So you have LSU, A&M, and Missouri. all your trophy games. That's good. You wind up with both of the Mississippi schools, which I thought was good for them. Where will Auburn be, I think, is a big question in 2024. You won on the road at Auburn last year. Will Hugh Freeze immediately find the quarterback, get his offense rolling, and be a tough out in 2024? Really, you roll the dice. You don't know what teams are going to project to in 2 years. You would think, okay, Brian Kelly and LSU, they were strong this year. 2024, they'll be tough. Auburn will be tougher in 2024. Tennessee could be as well. And so I just think it's an equitable schedule, and I think Arkansas fans should be happy that you've got LSU at home that year, Texas at home that year, and Ole Miss at home. That's a pretty good home schedule.
So it seems like an impossible task what the SEC was trying to put together. I like the criteria, splitting up and making sure Texas and OU were on everyone's schedule, one or the other. The competitive balance, we talked about that yesterday, and how they made sure you played some of the top four and the bottom four teams and a lot in the middle. Give an overall grade. I thought this was an impossible task that Greg Sankey and his staff had to pull together to really balance this out over 16 schedules.
I agree with you, Tommy. And I think, Mark Womack, we know, was the point man in 2020. And if you're an Arkansas fan, you have a beef with that. I mean, it's a legit beef. It felt like Arkansas was, in a down trough after the Morris years. And they're like, well, let's just go ahead and give, them these really tough games. So in this scenario, I think they did about the best they could. I heard Greg McElroy last night saying that he thought LSU got a pretty generous schedule. And I mean, what is a generous schedule? If Vanderbilt is on your schedule, and honestly, if you're on the East and you look the other side, if you have maybe Mississippi State without Mike Leach, are they going to go into a little bit of a lull? Maybe they'll be a good defensive team with Zach Arnett, but can they, manage the same offensive numbers? I don't know. But if you're on the East, I mean, drawing Arkansas is never thought of as like a horrible draw, if we're being honest.
Yep.
So I just think that it was a tough task, and I did like their criteria. And when you break it down the way they did, everybody gets OU or Texas, okay? So that gives it's a perfect number that each of those teams gets one of the two. And then you kept your arch rivalries. And it's interesting, I thought, that at the top of the show when they said protecting the rivalries, and they went Auburn, Alabama, of course. I think they did A&M and Texas. And then Arkansas LSU was considered like a top rivalry, but it's not played on the Thanksgiving weekend. Anyway, all in all, not a bad job. Everybody's got a difficult schedule, and I think when 2025 schedule rolls around, we're going to see either 9 teams or maybe a set number of years with an 8 team. But I really think they'll try to go back to the 9 team.
And we were talking about that earlier. Is there a need for 9? I mean, now that we see the schedule in front of us, we see these matchups. I mean, is 9 games going to put your 4th or 5th team securely in the playoff? I mean, we look at these games. Sure seems like there's enough strength of competition here that I'm not sure how much better you'd get with 9.
I agree with you, and I do believe that they'll want to have something in place before they get to 2024. So it's not like they're going to be able to view 2024 as like, okay, this is our test run. I think they're going to have to come up with something before you play the 2024 schedule. And yes, I agree with you that strength of schedule will be fine no matter what. And because of the mandatory Autonomy 5 designation on these schedules, that, every SEC school will be fine. If you can win if you can only have 2 losses, you got a good shot at making the playoff. And sometimes I think Bama or Georgia, if they lose to each other and have another 1 or 2, they have a chance to make the top 12. So I think ultimately it's going to boil down to whether they can negotiate more with their broadcast partners to give them that 9th game, and that will probably, follow the money. I think that will probably dictate whether or not they ultimately go to a 9-game slate. But I do feel like, if you put your finger up in the wind, that was what might happen for 2024, and it didn't because they did not negotiate more money from their broadcast partners, which will be all the ESPN, ABC company or family at that time. So I think ultimately they will wind up at 9 at some point.
Tom, who's more suited for the SEC, Texas or Oklahoma?
Wow. Great question. Oklahoma coming off a bad year, comparatively speaking. I'd have to say that Texas is better suited. They gave Alabama a really good game at home last year. They seem to be much improved from when Arkansas spanked them real good in 2021. So I would say Texas is. And OU, they're going to have to step up to the plate. I mean, I think the analysts that you saw last night were spot on that Oklahoma got a tougher schedule in 2024. And so their recruiting is going to have to pick up, and I think it will because they're kind of in the SEC footprint now. But I don't think they're going to stand out the way they did in the Big 12. I think they've got a long road ahead of them to get on equal footing with the biggest powers in the league.
The Oklahoma Sooners finished with a losing record last year for the first time in 20-plus seasons, and now they're joining an even better conference. Venables is not Lincoln Riley. He's not Bob Stoops. What makes you think he can actually get it done in Norman?
Well, I'm not convinced. I mean, he spent such a long time as a defensive coordinator. They got to get the right personnel, the right schemes in on offense for recruiting purposes and just for being able to outscore people. And honestly, their defense was not up to, I think, Venable standards last year. So I'm not convinced. And that's why the league continues to morph. And so, Mississippi State was respectable with Mike Leach. They had some huge wins, beating LSU in their first year and so on. And they had a good season last year. But there's no template that says Zach Arnett is going to produce a big-time winner in Mississippi State. And honestly, on a year-to-year basis, there's going to be 4 or 5 fan bases that are tremendously disappointed with how their teams fare. And it's just inevitable when you have this many good teams in one league.
Yeah. No one's paying attention or feeling sorry for Vanderbilt, but you look at their schedule. Now, they do get Bama, Tennessee, and Texas all at home, but they do have to play Bama, Tennessee, and Texas, road trips to LSU, Kentucky, Auburn, and Missouri. You could easily make a case that Vanderbilt, as downtrodden as they've been historically, they've got about as steep a climb and rough a road as anyone, even though their expectations are as low as anyone's in the league.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking over all the schedules, and everybody has got tough games. And Vanderbilt traditionally has been on the low end. The James Franklin years being the exception, and they were pretty good the first couple of years at Derek Mason, but they've dropped off. Now, if you're Florida last year and you lose to Vanderbilt, it just goes to show you that they're not just they're not a joke. You have to be prepared and be ready to face a Vanderbilt team. So no matter who you are or where you are in this conference, you've got tough games, and it doesn't matter if you're Vanderbilt or Missouri or Oklahoma or Arkansas. You got a tough road in 2024.
Yeah. Tom, always good to visit with you, and we will catch up again real soon and talk about it more next week here on the Morning Rush.
Yeah, sounds good, and a little College World Series action will be fun to talk about this week as well.
All right, happy Father's Day weekend.
Oh, yeah. Happy Father's Day, Tom.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
All right, Tom Murphy, always good perspective with us every Tuesday and Thursday here on the Morning Rush. We're brought to you by the Kruger Safari Club. My friend Jason Carney, he's who you need to call if you've always dreamed of a dream adventure to a faraway land. Well, he can provide that for you and take care of every step of the way. As Jason's got the experience, 75-plus trips he's made to Africa, and the Kruger Safari Club was founded here in Northwest Arkansas to provide that link, because it's daunting, it's intimidating to think, I'm going to book a trip and send money in what currency to someone halfway around the world or all the way around the world almost. Yeah, I mean, that's a little intimidating. And if you've always wanted to go on a trophy hunt or just a safari in a trip of a lifetime with your family, or maybe a big signature anniversary you and your wife have and you want to do something different, this is the way to go, is to call Jason. 479-466-4001. You'll stay in 5-star lodges, king-size beds. They've got pools. They got barbecue pits. They got fire pits. I mean, these are first-world accommodations. So you are not staying in the bush, if you will. You're not going to be sleeping in a tent. These are first-class accommodations. In fact, Jason was telling me just the other day, the show Naked and Afraid, which, if Ty was on it, we'd be afraid he was naked. They're staying in these same accommodations as they're filming a season over there now. So, I mean, that, they're not staying just anywhere. So these are affordable trips, far more affordable than you might be thinking. All the hunting's done ethically. In fact, all the meat stays in the local villages to help feed those there, and they really go about this the right way. These are private groups, not public trips, so you're really going to like it. Go to KrugerSafariClub.com. That's KRUGER SafariClub.com. And Jason's here local. He lives right here in Northwest Arkansas, so you can call with any questions. 479-466-4001. That's 479-466-4001 or online at KrugerSafariClub.com.
I trimmed the chest a little bit, Tommy. I've been working to get a little high and tighter when it came to the slip and slide this weekend. So I'm trying to get more in shape, more like you on the losing weight side of things.
Well, I feel bad for the slip and slide.
I do too. All right, I want to present these two things to Tommy and to all of you. And I'm not going to say they're 100%, but I want you to think about these two prospects. Adam texted, A&M and Texas have traditionally been that Black Friday game. So if they play that game in 2024 on Black Friday, and LSU is no longer playing A&M, what does that do for the LSU-Arkansas game? Do you still play them early like you are this year? Or do you move that game to the back end of the schedule like you have in years past? Think about that in Fayetteville, Black Friday in Fayetteville. Also think about this, something I brought up yesterday. Nathan texted us in from Rogers. Arch Manning's going to be Texas' probably quarterback in 2024. I want you to think about beating a Manning in Fayetteville wearing a Longhorn uniform. You didn't beat one wearing an orange uniform, Peyton Manning, his uncle, years ago. But you beat his brother, Peyton's brother, and Eli, in that incredible game that Matt Jones was just a true freshman, if I remember that right. So those two ideas, Tommy, I'm salivating over a lot of stuff, but I love the idea of potential Black Friday rematch with the LSU Tigers.
I may be dead wrong on this, but here's kind of what my gut feels, is the league had the heavy hand in determining the matchups. The television network's going to have a little more of a heavy hand in the dates and where to place them. November's a big TV sweeps month, and every Saturday's important, but the Saturdays in November are really important in the television industry, have been historically. Some of these marquee games, like I was talking about Bama and Georgia playing, I can guarantee you that's going to be week 1 or 2 of the November schedule. They don't want to put it too late because then you could have a potential rematch of the championship game where they play back-to-back weeks. You want to avoid that too. But and then you're also going to have games like South Carolina, Clemson, Georgia Tech, Louisville, Kentucky, that are always played that final weekend of the regular season and have been, and I think will continue to be. So I think the TV partners will have a little heavier hand in placing the games on the schedule. Plus, you also got to navigate and work around everyone's non-conference schedules. Those games this short a window aren't as flexible in their moves. So I do think some of these games, not all of them, you got to have enough balance to have great games each week, but some of these games that might be, or at least one or two of them, the bigger games of the year, I think you'll see in those first 2 to 3 weeks of November.
I know that Hunter Yurachek does not have the ultimate say-so of what happens with the actual games being played out. That's up to Greg Stanke and his staff. But if I'm Hunter Yurachek, and I'm the Arkansas Athletics Department, I am lobbying for that LSU game to be played at the tail end of the season. I don't care about Missouri. Find me an Arkansas fan that cares about playing Missouri. Find me one. Someone call in or text in that you actually care. The only people that care about playing Missouri are the Powell family, Taylor Powell's parents, and the Bannister family, Barrett Bannister's parents and family. That's it. And they're, quote-unquote, Missouri/Arkansas fans. No one cares about that game at all.
Well, I tend to agree. There's games that mean more. But, your question was, is Texas and Texas A&M going to play on that final week? Is OU and Texas still going to be traditionally, I mean, around the State Fair week? I would think so. It doesn't seem like that's going to work for me. All right, we're brought to you by Gaston's White River Resort. There's still time for you to get your summer trip booked and spend your time at Gaston's. They can take care of every aspect and get you a private accommodation with their private cabins and lodges, expert guides, great restaurant overlooking the White River. It's all there at Gaston's White River Resort. 870-431-5202. Gaston's, a first-class time every time.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
This is former Arkansas quarterback Casey Dick, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Hey, this is Chad Warner, product manager for Booyah Bait Company in Fort Smith, Arkansas. The hottest swim jig on the Arkansas River right now is the Booyah Mobster. It was designed by the Muddy Water Mob, a bunch of river rats from Arkansas and Oklahoma, and it's winning tournaments on Dardanelle and Kerr like clockwork. If you're fishing submerged vegetation, water willow, lily pads, you need a Booyah Mobster to reel them in. Available at lurenet.com and tackle stores throughout Arkansas and Oklahoma, the Booyah Mobster.
Are you kidding me? Gas prices are up again? Somebody has to do something.
Well, someone did. That's why I use Upside.
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that pays you back real money for every gallon of gas or diesel you buy. I just earned 25 cents back on every gallon of this tank.
So the Upside app is free and you actually get cash back every time you use it? No strings attached?
Yep, it's awesome. Check it out. It only takes a couple of minutes to sign up.
Instead of just watching your dollars go into your tank, start putting money back into your wallet with the free app from Upside. With the price of gas today, it's big news and big money. To cash out of your Upside cash, just transfer it to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card. Upside users have already earned over $200 million. Now it's your turn. Download the free Upside app and get cash back on every gallon of gas. Use promo code ESPN17 for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. That's code ESPN17. Use code ESPN17 for an extra 25 cents per gallon back in your first fill-up. Cashback's not available in gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
This is the Morning Rush.
All the Road Hogs have the hog calls and the tailgate ready to roll.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
The Golf Nut has everything you need to make 2023 the best year ever. In stock now, Callaway Paradigm Woods and Irons along with Cobra Aerojet Woods and Irons. Demos are available. Schedule a fitting today. The new Titleist Pro V1s are here. Golf lessons are available. Call the shop and book a time or just play a round of golf on one of the many courses like Pebble Beach or Bethpage Black. Stop by the Golf Nut today, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. Your #1 golf shop since 1994.
Was your roof damaged by recent storms? Don't fall victim to out-of-town contractors and fly-by-night repairmen. Trust the local roofing professionals at Able Roofing. Call their local number, 474-0006, for a free roof inspection. Never trust something as important as the roofing system on your home to a storm chaser. Able Roofing, 474-0006, will work with your insurance company. Call now for your free roof inspection, 474-0006. Able Roofing, the hometown roofers.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin Tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin Tires to keep you rolling. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith, for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family.
What makes a meal magical? Maybe it's coming home to smiling faces and the aroma of the grill. Maybe magic is the moment you finally get the secret ingredient to Mom's signature mac and cheese. Who knows, magic might just be as simple as meeting up with a friend to share a #2 with fries and extra ketchup. One thing's for certain, magic shouldn't be hard because it's everywhere. All it takes is mixing the right ingredients, good company, great food, and ice-cold Coca-Cola. And then, voila, you'll have a recipe for magic.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Drs. Sparkman, Nanda, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Elite Roofing is a locally owned roofing contractor. If you're building a new home or maybe need a new roof on your existing home, Elite Roofing can take care of you. Elite Roofing is known for their dependability and reliability. Just ask any of their satisfied customers. They are licensed and insured, and references are available upon request. If you need a roof, call your local roofing contractors. Elite Roofing, 478-8668. That's 478-8668. Elite Roofing, 478-8668.
Are you a qualified CDL driver with local or over-the-road experience? Tired of driving older equipment? Not having enough home time? Feel like a number? You need Patriot Transport. Patriot Transport, based in Centerville, with locations in Russellville and Van Buren, provides you with late model equipment, has a family atmosphere, and provides you the opportunity to make $95,000 per year. Patriot Transport works with you to get the miles you want and the family time you need. Change your life today. Visit PatriotTransport.com to apply. That's PatriotTransport.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey. Oh,
yes, sir. Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Arkansas Razorbacks in our championship! The Arkansas Razorbacks have completed the dream season!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
The LSU Tigers, the Ole Miss Rebels, the Tennessee Volunteers, and the Texas Longhorns all coming to your house. Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium next season in 2024. You will travel to Jordan-Hare Stadium, to Starkville to take on Mississippi State and the Cowbells, to Missouri, up there to Columbia, and then down there to Jerry World, take on Texas A&M. Tommy, Arkansas only one of two teams, you and Texas, that have just 3 true conference road games next year.
Yeah, and you need to take advantage of it. You hope to be in position. You don't know, KJ Jefferson, you assume this is his last year. There's still a year eligibility. I don't want to get cart in front of horse. Got to get through this year. But you need to make next year a point to line everything up because, like I said, the schedule in many ways is favorable to you.
It's going to set up. And Florida, Georgia is the one other team. I'm forgetting which one's home in a way this year. But it has me excited. Listen, I saw this last night. I was screaming this. And I was saying this.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
Tommy, I just hate that we have to wait. What's 365 plus 79? Off the top of my head. So it's 79 days still this year.
It's a while.
And tack on another 3. And I guess it's actually, Arkansas starts on the 31st, I think, of 2024 with that opening non-conference game in Little Rock against UAPB. So I guess you have a little less than 365 days. But hey, listen, you're excited about this, and you should be. This is a good schedule next year.
Well, let me tell you, I'm just sitting here while you were talking. I was scanning this 16-team composite schedule. You know how many teams in the league avoided both Alabama and Georgia?
I'm going to say Arkansas is the only one.
There are 3.
Okay.
Arkansas is one of 3. South Carolina does not play Alabama nor Georgia. Now, hang on, I'm wrong. They do have that. So Arkansas is one, A&M is the other. They do not have scanning that. So no, Arkansas and A&M, if I've looked over this really quickly, is one of two programs. Arkansas and A&M are the only 2 programs that don't get one or the other with Bama and Georgia.
That's shocking they didn't pit Jimbo up against Saban, but you're right, yeah. So that's
I'm just kind of doing it real quick here on the fly. But so, what does that tell you the 25 schedule may look like?
Maybe have both. Probably have both.
So, I mean, don't complain when that happens, when you were one of just 2 schools in this league that got one or the other. And then I hadn't looked to see who gets both, but we do know Auburn gets both. So
I'm marking into KJ Jefferson right now that he needs to use his 6th year of COVID eligibility so he can come back. That would be crazy if he actually did. I don't think it's going to happen. But next year, you're probably going to be rolling out a new quarterback, and it's going to be a fun year. Can't wait. Hopefully a fun year this year as well. I know that's been the main talking point this morning. You did have a commit yesterday, and Akari Johnson out of Pleasant Grove High School down there in Texarkana, 2024 cornerback. You've gotten a couple guys down in Texarkana. Landon Jackson's on your team. Akari just committed, so you're excited about him, and I'm excited to see what else you can do with Texarkana, a place that, Tommy, with Dennis Johnson, Ryan Mallett, Kobe Hamilton, you've had success down there. You need to keep that thing going. Texarkana ain't that far from Fayetteville.
No, and like we talk schedule, and you're talking a little recruiting. Let's see how this affects recruiting, and does Arkansas get in on a few more players you haven't been getting in on? I'll be interested to see what the recruiting effect of all of this excitement brews up in the next 24 months for the Razorbacks.
Hagen Smith named a first-team All-American by the National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association. Was also named by Collegiate Baseball that also named it that as well. So two awards. I think Blaine Knight back in 2018 also giving out a bevy of honors. We know Kevin Kopps collected every trophy under the sun based on his performance as well. But congrats to Hagen. The postseason accolades keep picking up. I'm excited to see what he can do in a Razorback uniform this next year. All right, last thing, Tommy. Basketball team's done this last couple years. Did you see the boxing photos that they go through?
I've seen them before, but I guess there were some yesterday. I didn't get to see as much Twitter as obviously you did.
Let me tell you something. I've seen a boxing class, and I've had Morning Rush listeners that I've talked to that have gone through it. I consider myself not a physical specimen, but someone that is in decent shape. I don't think I could last 2 minutes in this thing. I'm telling you, man.
Boxing's hard. I mean, and I'm not done like boxing like me and you back and forth, but you just go to the gym and you hit the bag. 45 seconds, that'll wear you out, I mean, if you just go hard at it. So
listen, it's probably good that you and me didn't get in the ring, because there are two things would happen: me hitting you and you hitting the floor. We wouldn't want that. We wouldn't want that at all. It's best that we both don't enter the ring.
All right, big boy.
That's going to do it for your Hog Update this morning. It's brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
You know me, man. Just looking out for your
fantasy world you live in.
And well-being. It's Father's Day weekend. I'm trying to take it easy on you.
As any old guy would tell you, if you feel froggy, go ahead and jump. So
I haven't heard that phrase before.
Yeah. If you feel froggy, just jump.
Jump.
I'm looking here at the bets. I mean, got golf. I'm looking to my left. I see the North Fork River. I look to my right, and I've got the TV on. They're live at the Los Angeles Country Club. I'm looking here in my hand at my phone. I got the Bet Saracen app, and I just for fun was scrolling down. I mean, the odds-on favorite still Scotty Scheffler. Statistically, he is the one to beat. Now, we hadn't even got to the tee off, but I was scrolling through all the different things. You can bet on top players from each country. Top French player, top senior. Phil Mickelson's got the best odds to be the highest finishing senior player at plus 135. Padraig Harrington and Stuart Sink are the three that you could wager on there. Then you can scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you can get a bet at minus 175. Will there be a hole-in-one? And there's some long par threes. Will there be a playoff? Yes or no? It's plus 300 and minus 300. Minus 500 on no, plus 300 on yes for a playoff. So all kinds of fun stuff. If you don't have the Bet Saracen app, the U.S. Open might be even more enjoyable for you, Ty, if you have the Bet Saracen app.
All the bets, golf, football, basketball, baseball, you're going to find it on the Bet Saracen app.
Yeah, some fun stuff here. I don't know who I picked. Scheffler, they had a graphic up a minute ago of the world's top five and comparing their stats. He's number one in greens in regulation, number one in fairways, and number one. There's the stats they were comparing. I forget the third one, but I don't know if it's putts or what. But he was number one in all three categories, so I can see why he's the odds-on favorite.
I need to find a device like the aliens did in Space Jam, where they take away the superhuman's powers, like Patrick Ewing and Charles Barkley. I need to take Scotty Scheffler's golf game and Tiger's golf game and Phil's golf game and take it for myself, because when I get out there, man, it's horrible.
Yeah, should be. That's fun. I like when they play West Coast, like Pebble Beach, and now in L.A. because you get good primetime golf here at home. So I'm looking forward to that later on tonight. All right, Clay Henry's going to jump in the conversation when we return. We are brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. A lot of pool activity going on right now. Everybody got their pools open, ready to go. Are you testing that water? If not, you need to take it to Burton Pools and Spas. They'll analyze your water for free, tell you exactly what you need to add, what levels might be high, and it's a much more precise test. You can get that done at the Springdale or Fort Smith location, and they got all the chemicals and supplies you need to make sure that pool water is crystal clear and perfectly safe throughout the summer. That's Burton Pools and Spas, Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com.
I wonder if Clay's excited to play Texas in 2024.
The selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Are you tired of cleaning out your gutters yet? Well, have I got some great news for you. Introducing the one and only true one-piece seamless covered gutter system on the market, LeafGuard, and it's guaranteed to never clog. Say goodbye to gutter cleaning forever. All right, picture this. Rain's pouring down, but instead of your gutters becoming a swamp of muck and mud and shingle grit, the water effortlessly flows through your LeafGuard system. It's like magic, but better. And guess what? It's the perfect time to get LeafGuard installed because they are having their annual half-off sale. That's right, half-off labor on a whole complete LeafGuard system. But wait, there's more. If you call right now, we'll even tell you about our amazing 18 months no-interest financing. That's right, you can enjoy the benefits of LeafGuard without breaking the bank. And we appreciate our seniors and military personnel, so we have special discounts just for you. New orders only. Other restrictions may apply and does not include material costs. So see our sales associates for all the juicy details. 501-664-5400 or visit LeafGuardandMore.com. LeafGuard, because life's too short to clean gutters.
Semaglutide is a weight loss game changer. That's what the medical community is saying about the latest FDA-approved weight loss medication. Vici Aesthetics and Wellness is offering a detailed program to all of Arkansas. In-office or telemedicine visits available to schedule your medical consultation and get started on the #1 prescription choice by medical providers for safe and effective weight loss while also reducing cardiovascular risk factors. Call or text 479-343-8424. 479-343-8424.
This is The Morning Rush.
When was the last time you looked forward to seeing the dentist? Well, if it's been a while, or if you haven't had the best of experiences with dentistry, meet Marcy Van Ash McKinney Family Dentistry. Give her a call at 494-7600. They'll take care of it all. Crowns, bonding, dentures, bleaching, and cosmetic dentistry. Marcy Van Ash McKinney Family Dentistry at 807 South 21st. Call for an appointment today. 494-7600. That's 494-7600.
Hi, it's Ben from Wow World of Wireless, your local Dish Premier retailer. Are you a DirecTV customer? Upgrade to Dish and get a $300 prepaid MasterCard. Just mention offer code DTV to Dish. And that's not all. With Dish and Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recordings anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Upgrade to Dish from DirecTV today. Never run out of space again and get a $300 prepaid MasterCard when you mention offer code DTV to Dish. Visit us our new location at 601 Church Street in Barling next to Frank Rowe Furniture, or call us today at 877-305-DISH to learn more and make the switch to Dish. That's 877-305-3474.
Offer in 7/12/23. Monthly equipment fees, eligibility requirements, and restrictions apply. Call for full details. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device.
When it's time for breakfast, Calico County is making it all from scratch. You have the dedicated early morning crew at Calico are cooking up and serving buttermilk pancakes, moist biscuits, rich waffles, country fried potatoes, 3 types of gravy, and of course their famous cinnamon rolls and much more. They serve all of this and a lot more 7 days a week until 11 a.m. Stop in, call ahead, or get it to go. Or just come by and pick up a dozen cinnamon rolls for the office. For breakfast, lunch, dinner, or catering, roll on into Calico County. They're home cooking good. Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue behind Randall Ford.
Call Arkansas Medical Weight Loss today and get started on their special summer program. Only $149 gets you started on your first 2 weeks, including a visit with our doctor. We offer both semaglutide and tirzepatide to suppress hunger and increase metabolism without the use of harmful stimulants. Give Arkansas Medical Weight Loss a call at 479-551-2800 or visit them online at arkansasmedicalweightloss.com and start your journey to a happier, healthier you.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Hey River Valley, this is Caleb DeWitt with Carco Auto Sales. As many of you know, parts of Fort Smith and Van Buren were recently affected by a hailstorm, and our lot was no exception. Our inventory may have received minor hail damage, but with that comes a major discount. Choose from late model cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs, all with thousands off the original price tag. Make the short drive to 2810 Midland Boulevard in Fort Smith or visit us online at www.buyfromcarco.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. Our high this afternoon in the middle to upper 80s. We will see an increase in the cloud cover, maybe a night scattered shower or thunderstorm late. Overnight lows will drop down in the mid to upper 60s. And then scattered showers and thunderstorms with us on Friday. Our high into the middle to upper 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today. KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 79 days. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Farm Credit. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com.
Arkansas has manhandled Texas tonight. They have manhandled the Longhorns and won it by a final of 40-21. I will tell you that security is bringing down the goalposts before the fans have a chance to do it. Security's bringing down the goalposts because the field is filling. And what a scene tonight at Razorback Stadium in Fayetteville.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to the Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
40-year-old adolescents, felons, power drinkers, and trustees of modern chemistry.
On your favorite sports talk station.
Were you going to have a party here tonight, son? I don't know what that was all about.
Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
That seducer and spoiler must be stopped. He's extremely dangerous.
This is the Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You guys know I am a student of pop culture.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Yes, sir.
It is hour number 3 of the Morning Rush on a Thursday. Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, and soon to be joined by senior ESPN Arkansas contributor, Hogs Plus. He's done it all, Clay Henry. I'm excited to have Clay's take on this upcoming schedule in 2024. Tommy, my dad just texted me. He says, I can't tell that you're excited about the schedule in 2024. I'm excited to see Pops on Sunday for Father's Day, and excited to talk about this schedule with Clay coming up.
We'll see if Clay's more excited than you about the upcoming games. This may bring him out of retirement, all these new games on the schedule.
Semi-retirement.
We're brought to you by Vici Aesthetics and Wellness. If you're looking to tighten up and lose some of that weight and really look your best this summer, if you need some help losing 15, 20, 30, 40 pounds, you probably got a friend that's been on the shot, as they call it. Well, that's what we're talking about with semaglutide. This is a weight loss game changer, and it will help you lose that weight. It's FDA approved. It's medically supervised by the doctor on staff at Vici. So you'll be in good hands the whole way, and you'll feel the cravings go away. You'll feel a regulated blood sugar that's going to give you the energy that you need, and you'll feel better as the weight comes off. Call Vici. They can do in-house or in-person visits or telemedicine, 479-343-8424, and they'll get you scheduled up. This has worked for me. I know it will work for you. And if you're looking to lose some weight this summer, they can help you with that. 479-343-8424. You can call or text that number, 343-8424, for Vici Aesthetics and Wellness in Northwest Arkansas.
I have just one question for you. Are you ready?
I'm ready for this my whole life.
Here he is. The Clay Henry.
Clay, don't know the date just yet, but are you ready to drive from Norfolk to Fayetteville, Arkansas when Texas comes into town in 2024?
I wouldn't miss it for anything.
It's going to be a heck of a game, man.
Yeah, it's always fun, and it's a good schedule, and I knew it would be. That's what the SEC is all about. And you could stir it up a different way, and it'd still be good. And you knew probably you're going to get Oklahoma or Texas, and either one of those games are terrific for Arkansas fans. And it is probably good you didn't get both. And, that Alabama and Georgia deal, that's a lucky break. To me, that's a payback for what they did to them, 3 years ago at the COVID year, where they had to go to Georgia and to Florida, with the rebuilding program. They tried to balance their schedules with Arkansas, which isn't right.
Yeah.
We know that. But it's I think if Arkansas fans, are truthful, they're going to tell you that this is pretty good. I like playing Tennessee. I have a lot of friends with that program and fans of that program that have gotten close to me through the years. And, one of them is Coach Fulmer. I fish and hunt with him. So that'll be a lot of good conversation, Lee. You don't really know what you're getting in 2 years because things change so dramatically, and you think, well, Josh Heupel will be there. Well, he might be in the NFL. It's things just change from year to year. You don't know. One of those coaches at either Ole Miss or Mississippi State might move. We just don't know what those quality of those teams will be. But it looks like a lot of fun with that schedule, especially the home schedule.
Yeah, and this isn't an impossible schedule either. You knew you were going to play Missouri. We knew that going in, but you keep both Mississippi schools. LSU's a game I think fans value and appreciate. You talk about Tennessee there. And the A&M game stays on the schedule in Arlington. I think this will mark the end of that, Clay, but I don't know what more you could have asked for out of the league office than what you got.
That's probably true, and I'm not hearing any complaints from the Arkansas side. I think if you just go through it team by team by team, it ain't bad. There looks like a lot of balance to most of what I see, and it's the thing that we don't know is because of the portal how quickly a roster can change, and we've seen what's happened. In the last 6 months with the Arkansas roster, dramatically different. 2 new coordinators, and that's what you just you can't foresee is that you can say a team looks like they're down. Well, coach brings in 25, 30 portal guys. Well, that's not what you thought you were going to play 2 years ago, and you can do it 2 years in a row. So the rosters can be rebuilt, and I think in the SEC, I feel confident that Arkansas has a good roster right now, but I haven't studied the rest of their opponents. I suspect all of those SEC teams have done something similar, so it's about coaching them up now.
When you look at the other games that we saw announced yesterday, we got the traditional ones. We got the Iron Bowl. We got the third Thursday in October for Bama and Tennessee. We got Florida and Georgia at the world's largest cocktail party. But the additional games that we're excited about. We're excited about Texas and A&M, and I hate both those schools, but I'm excited to watch that game. I'm excited about Georgia going to Tuscaloosa. I tend to agree with Tommy. That game's going to be some point in November. I'm excited about Oklahoma hosting Alabama. We have so many marquee matchups to look forward to next season that it's not just – your attention's going to be glued not just to the Arkansas games, but these other great games as well.
Yeah, I think that they did it probably the way we would have done it, which makes us feel good. In other words, they kept all the rivalry games, and that's the sad part about all this conference realignment, the teams switching leagues, and that we've lost year after year rivalry games. And so if we can keep those, I think that's and I would guess that ESPN said, yeah, we really think that's a good idea. By the way, I don't think there's any way that we're not going to 9 games. I mean, for anybody that says, well, you can do it with 8. Yeah, you can, but when you consider how much money is at stake by adding these games because of the TV contract and the renegotiate, it's going to happen. And it's just, we just need to understand that when they can find, another $50 million or $40 million to split up among 16 teams, they're going to do it.
But my question is, if you're right, if it's that number, you go for it. But how much more? I mean, you're not adding a game. You're just replacing a non-con game with a higher quality SEC game. There's no additional inventory for the networks. There's just the hope of increased viewership.
Yeah, there is.
How much is that?
Not only is there a hope of increased viewership, it will happen.
Yeah,
it will happen. We know it will happen.
But what's that
because
worth?
You eliminate a non-conference game for a conference game, and of those games, there are going to be 4 or 5 that probably just bust the charts, as far as ratings, because that's what happens when you've got Oklahoma and Texas and Alabama and Georgia. There's going to be a game in there that just blows everybody away, and they have to do that, and they will.
Don't disagree. I just wonder what's the value of that, and how does it break out when you divide it 17 ways, 16 schools in the league office? What does that mean? And
is it 50 though? You're talking about?
I'm not talking about per team. I'm talking about 50 divided up by 16.
Right.
What if it's 500,000 more? Tommy, 500,000 is a lot of money.
That's a drop in the bucket for an athletics department.
Okay, all right. When you're trying to drop in the bucket, like covers softball travel. I mean, they cannot turn that down. You say it's a drop in the bucket, man.
Compared to $170 million budget, it is, but it's still a lot of money.
I don't think it's a lot. I think it's a lot of money. Yeah. I mean, that's why, they're looking at coaches' salaries, and a $500,000 jump is like, man, that's a lot of money.
I agree with you. I think it's inevitably going to 9.
I'm not saying that it's going to be 500, but what if it is?
Right.
It's still a lot of money.
I just don't have a good feel on what the value of one extra conference game.
I was told it's a couple of million a year.
Okay,
for every school.
That sounds reasonable. That sounds about right. And but the flip side of that is the unbalanced schedules, and then 1 year you're 5 at home, 1 year at 4 at home, and I think that's going to make
that's true.
Neutral site. It's going to make neutral site games. In Texas and OU and the Red River rivalry, and then the cocktail party with Florida and Georgia, I guess, are the two that are probably going to sustain that. It appears Arkansas and A&M will no longer play in Arlington, but it makes neutral site games even more challenging in an unbalanced schedule world if that's where they end up.
And they're still going to do it.
Yeah. 3 home games, Tommy,
exactly.
like you're talking about for whoever Texas or Oklahoma or Georgia or Florida that year. So you're one. And then if these rivalries stay intact between Kentucky and Louisville, Florida and Florida State, that's an additional road game, an additional tough road game that you have to play. Now, Arkansas doesn't have that on the schedule once the A&M contract expires, but why would you, if you're Arkansas, why would you be apt to play any neutral site game based on that? I understand Hunter Yurchek's, like, if he thinks this way, trying to get every single non-conference game at home if you got 5 road games.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen.
Oh, I just don't see, and this what we were talking about this with Jerry World, Clay. We know how valuable Jerry Jones is to the Arkansas football and overall athletics department. And I would guess, I don't know this personally, but I would guess he, at some point in time, wants to see the Razorbacks in his home stadium again. I think it's just very difficult to schedule that out based on not just the good years where you have 5 home games, but especially the tough years when you'll have four home games and 5 road games at least.
Yeah, I think you just tell him all good things come to an end. They just do. And there may be a game they play somewhere down the road, where they throw him a bone. And who knows? It could be that Arkansas and Texas play there occasionally every third year. So there's ways to do things. They used to play Texas, Arkansas, every third year they would switch from Little Rock to Fayetteville. So there's all kinds of things you can do. But it may not happen. It may be that it's just not possible anymore because of where, like you say, unbalanced numbers because of the 9-game schedule. I just think that they're coming to 9 games.
Yeah. Just hope Jerry can make it between now and then. I'm sure that was what he was counting on to pay the electric bill. Was having that.
What did they bust Tommy? $1.6 billion in profit.
So when I was told they're just going to rise, they're not going to have that game, but they're going to increase the cost of beer by $14.
Oh.
So it'll be
it's going to be 35.
23. How do you have 23?
Yeah, 35.
Isn't a Cowboy Arena down there like $25? I mean, just
a what?
A Cowboy Rita?
I'll have to ask my wife.
I don't know what that is, but if it's close to a peach daiquiri, I know you probably in on it.
Peach margarita, Clay. We got to be specific on that.
Yeah.
Greyhound's the new drink of the summer, Clay. Not
Greyhound.
peach.
What is a Greyhound?
It's vodka and
something
grapefruit.
that gets to you really fast.
Yeah. Vodka and grapefruit, Clay. Vodka and grapefruit.
Yeah, that gets to you really fast.
Yeah. Hey, we are brought to you by ColorWorks Paint and Body in Barling, Arkansas. They've been great friends of ours for a long time, and if you found that your vehicle or if you found yourself in a recent hailstorm or you've been in an auto accident or you come out of Walmart and someone's backed into you or scraped the side of your car, whatever you need, these are the folks you turn to at ColorWorks Paint and Body. They're at 1206 Fort Street, not far from our compound here. And when it comes to vehicle repair for the body and the paint, remember that you're not obligated to use who the insurance company tells you need to use. That's why you need to choose ColorWorks Paint and Body. That's what we do. Hail damage, auto accidents, call Andy at ColorWorks Paint and Body. Any shop can give you a lower estimate by leaving something out or overlooking the parts that you need or using lesser quality. That's why you want to go with ColorWorks Paint and Body. Get everything you need. They go above and beyond to make sure your car looks right. So Andy and his team, they specialize in top-of-the-line paint and body repair, and they'll take care of you. That's ColorWorks Paint and Body, 1206 Fort Street in Barling. You can call Andy at 434-2639.
The Mouth is phoned in from Stuttgart. Brent, good morning, man.
Good morning, Ty, Tommy, and Clay. What's going on?
What's up, buddy?
Glad to have you, Brent.
Oh, I am glad to be here. And goodness gracious, I couldn't be happier with our schedule for 2024 because we do not see any Nick Saban or Alabama, thank goodness. But
or Georgia,
or Georgia, it's going to be a fabulous year in 2023 and a fabulous year in 2024. But my question was, so we'll play Texas away in 2025, or will that all change again? Well,
I think it's all changing again.
Yeah, I
think it's a one-off.
Mm-hmm. No guarantee of having to go to Austin in 2025.
I would. Here's the only thing I'd say. I don't think they'll come to Fayetteville 2 years in a row. That's the one thing I'd take off the table.
No, I don't think that's going to happen.
I would agree with that. And with Tennessee, does that mean Tennessee will be one of our permanent opponents?
No,
we're not going to be in divisions anymore, correct?
Correct. That's just go ahead, Clay.
But see, we might be in a situation where you have 3 permanent opponents, and we're going to nine games without divisions. So we don't really know what 2025 is because we don't know whether it's going to be 8 games or 9 games.
Okay, I got you. I understand that. That makes that makes perfectly good sense. One thing that I'm happy about is that after this year, it would appear that the Texas A&M Arkansas game is moving out of Jerry World. I mean, going to Jerry World was great about two years in a row, but I believe that game has run its course, and it's time to play them both at both home stadiums.
I think a lot of people agree with you, most notably Ross Bjork, A&M's athletic director. And Brent, we appreciate the call. I think Hunter probably feels the same way. He probably just hadn't been as public about it because of Jerry Jones and that backing. But that it's not appearing to go away. That game is going away after this next season. So the final time you'll at least play Texas A&M in Jerry World will be that next year.
Yeah, there's an exception to everything. And Jerry can decide to make it so lucrative that both teams decide they want to do it. I don't see that happening because he's not that kind of a businessman. He's always going to probably do what's best for him.
Mm-hmm. He loves his Razorbacks, but he loves his dollars better. So.
Well, I mean, he's been that way forever. So I mean, you just judge by how he's handled things. He's not going to give it all back.
Yeah. Well, you don't get to where he's at in life by giving money.
He's got debt to pay. Yeah.
Nope. Yep, Clay, you're right. Clay, I do want to ask you about this. So with A&M and Texas being on each other's schedule in 2024, that I would think would replace the A&M LSU game that would overtook the Arkansas LSU game at the end of the year. You think we see LSU in Fayetteville the Friday after Thanksgiving in 2024?
I don't think so. I think you're gonna see the Missouri Arkansas game stay there forever. So yeah, it's. I mean, you're talking about the Black Friday game or the Saturday game, either one, right? I guess you could, or you're talking about the week after, or
just the traditional Friday after Thanksgiving game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Arkansas, Missouri.
Okay, I didn't know what that. Tommy, do you feel that same way?
I mean, not that I have any incredible insight. That's what I think.
Well, I mean, you're going to have the Iron Bowl that weekend. Mm-hmm. You're going to have some of the other in-state games that go on that TV will have. Well, depending like Clemson and South Carolina, they're going to have both sides of that because ESPN's got the ACC side of it. You're going to have maybe in Florida, they're going to have one of the in-state schools, probably Florida State. I mean, when you start looking at where you stack up in the pecking order, you're going to have the Egg Bowl usually on Thanksgiving night. I mean, where do you slot in? Do you need a game of that magnitude that weekend? You're already probably going to be loaded up with traditional rivalry games. So I think you can stand out more on a different week where it's not as top-heavy with marquee matchups.
I think it's going to come down to two teams for LSU. I think they'll either play that Ole Miss game at the tail end of the year, which is an underrated rivalry, the Magnolia Bowl, or they actually might play Arkansas. I'll probably still have Arkansas too, but they're not going to play Bama because of the Iron Bowl. They're not going to play Florida because they got Florida State. That's what I look at. No. And they're not going to play A&M because I think A&M will play Texas.
Well, I think you're right on that. Here's what's going to happen. Texas is going to play Texas A&M, and LSU is going to play Oklahoma. That's what's going to happen.
Could be.
That's a scenario that could play out as well.
That's going to be the long term down the road. That'll be the down the road plan. So, hey, be sure and keep it right here. We'll have more on all of this coming up. We are brought to you by APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group. They got immediate openings right now in North Central Arkansas, also in Northwest Arkansas. If you're looking for a great job with a great company that offers top pay, great benefits, sign-on bonus, profit sharing, and more, you're a diesel mechanic, CDL licensed driver, all kinds of great jobs. Go to jobs.crh.com and apply. That's jobs.crh.com.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
All right, you go do the research.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup. The Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Are you ready to give your family the best 4th of July experience yet? USA Fireworks wants to make that happen with the USA Fireworks Bangin' Giveaway. USA Fireworks has helped Arkansans more than 30 years. Go to hitthatline.com/USA Fireworks and enter for your chance to win a fireworks show worth $2,000 retail. Again, hitthatline.com/USA Fireworks. For more information about wholesale prices, go to usafireworks.org.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Rockwell and Orwell are both known for their work from 1984. It's no conspiracy that somebody's watching me, because the terms and agreements that no one reads is the reason there's no privacy. Big Tech is tracking every move you make and is starting to control society and how you participate. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, and Revelation 13 describes a mark for those who fall for this utopian dream. I'm Pastor Eve from Woodland. Read about it.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your championship finals info, stats, news, and scores. Get the latest odds and the latest matchup reports for this year's NBA and Stanley Cup Finals. BetOnline is your sports intel headquarters this season, as we have you covered for all your insider sports wagering needs, from baseball and hockey to MLB, UFC, and boxing. The fastest and easiest way to get all your betting info, including live betting options and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your home. Get in the action today. Head over to our website or use your mobile device to join, and be sure to use our promo code BELIEVE to receive 50% bonus on your first deposit. That's BLEAV. Bet online, where the game starts.
Looking for an African adventure without the hassle of planning? Kruger Safari Club has got you covered. Our custom hunting and safari packages take care of everything from transportation to accommodations, so you can focus on enjoying the experience of a lifetime. With our team's extensive knowledge of the best hunting and safari spots in South Africa, Mozambique, and Zimbabwe, you'll have access to some of the most breathtaking views and exciting game hunting opportunities on the planet. And with our commitment to ethical hunting and giving back to the local community, you'll know that your trip with us is making a positive impact. Book your trip now and let us take care of the rest. Find out more at KrugerSafariClub.com.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business, on the Hit That Line podcast network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
To sell you a home where you can make memories that last a lifetime. Check out my website at rachelraynwa.com. Connecting families with homes in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Come home with me.
Now everything is easy 'cause of you.
Are you a qualified CDL driver with local or over-the-road experience? Tired of driving older equipment? Not having enough home time? Feel like a number? You need Patriot Transport. Patriot Transport, based in Centerville, with locations in Russellville and Van Buren, provides you with late model equipment, has a family atmosphere, and provides you the opportunity to make $95,000 per year. Patriot Transport works with you to get the miles you want and the family time you need. Change your life today. Visit PatriotTransport.com to apply. That's PatriotTransport.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I love Tyler Bill. He just needs a little bit more education. But I love him.
Option right. KJ cuts back. Jefferson at the 5. Touchdown, Arkansas! What a run by KJ!
Subscribe to the Bud Light Morning Rush podcast. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, and share.
All right, we've talked 99% football this morning, and for good reason. But we do want to talk about the U.S. Open. Tees off in about 15 minutes from now from the Los Angeles Country Club. Guy, it's just a $25,000 entry fee to join out there, apparently. Apparently, you pay $100 a month. I was doing a little research. Just $25,000 for the entry fee.
I bet it's $100 a month.
That's what it says. I was surprised. I don't know if that's what the website I was reading from is true or not, but that's what
I have a hard time believing that one. But let's get to that. Hey, we're going to hang on to patio weather as long as we can. It's going to get warm soon, but I'm telling you, at Uncorked in the afternoons, it's a great way to refresh and kind of wind down the day. I was by there a couple days ago. They have upgraded and added new patio furniture that is super comfortable on the patio. And Thursdays are patio pours from 5 to 7. It's $20. You get to try out the kind of the featured items that night. Tonight it's going to be Lost 40 Brewing. So you can make your reservations, $20. Just go to uncorkthefort.com. Click on the Explore Talk tab there, and you can get set up for that. Walk in, they'll get you set up with a great spot on the patio. They got appetizers, and it's really a great way to end the day. So they have done a great job at Uncorked featuring some of the great in-state breweries and wineries and distilleries each week with patio pours. So enjoy another week of that tonight from 5 to 7 with Lost 40 Brewing. That will be there. Also go on to Uncork the Fort. Make your dinner reservations for this weekend with Father's Day coming up. They're going to be busy. So if you want to go Friday or Saturday night to Uncorked, you need to get that reservation in for, some of the best food and the best bar atmosphere you're going to find anywhere is at Uncorked. Really like it there. Maggie and the team behind the bar just do a great job of making you feel welcome. So you're going to like it. Chef Jazz always cooking up something good. They got a bone-in pork chop that I know Clay Henry would like to put a knife and fork into as well. Shrimp and grits. They got some of your favorite stuff there, Clay. It's all at Uncorked. They're on Phoenix Avenue at the Lee Avenue exit, right next door to Sody's. And, again, you can find out more online at uncorkthefort.com. Get ready for patio pours tonight from 5 to 7.
All right, guys. Give me some insight. Who do I need to throw money on the next couple days? I need some help. I need y'all's knowledge when it comes to the game of golf. Who do I need to throw it on these next couple days?
I'd say you're investing it, not throwing it.
Okay.
That's okay. I mean, I would think throw means like throw it away. So I think that in this particular instance, it's going to be an investment, and you're going to do well with it. I would say this is really going out on a limb, and your return is going to be low, but Brooks Koepka.
It's not a bad choice. I'm going to give you a different name just because I think he's been around it. Hopefully he's learned a little bit. I always like to go with the Americans in our national championship, but I think Victor Hovland's a guy that you better watch out for this week. He's just kind of been around it the whole year.
And another one, and makes me sick at my stomach to think about a University of Texas guy doing well, but I think Jordan Spieth, and the reason I say that is that he is really good on par threes. I mean, he's a shot maker. They have 5 par threes, 3 par fives. That usually in a U.S. Open you've got 4 par threes, 2 par fives, and then that gives you 2 more par fours. But that's just the opposite of what they do here at Los Angeles Country Club, and I think that suits a guy like Jordan Spieth.
I would argue some of those aren't par threes. They're par fours disguised as par threes because they're 280-plus yards on 2 of them. But they're downhill, I get it. But
and downwind.
Yeah.
So when I'm
290 to the flag on a par 3, get out of here.
Yeah, so just think about it in these terms. So there's 15 to 20 guys that they hit it so far it's almost unfair. They're going to be hitting a 4-iron or a 5-iron because of the elevation of that tee and it's downwind. that's not a hard shot for them. You know, if you were thinking, oh, they've got to hit a driver, well, then that's a different ballgame. But if they're hitting 4 irons, Tommy, it's just not, you know, when you think about, you know, the way the yardage it's going to play, first of all, they're not going to play that back tee unless the wind is really strong. They're going to play it at 260. And if they play it at 260, they're going to hit 6 irons.
Yeah.
Because it's just straight downhill. Once you see it on TV, TV distorts it a little bit. But from what I listen to a lot of the PGA Tour radio, and they're talking about the clubs that they hit, and it might be that 80-yard hole is harder than the 260 hole because of the size of the green.
Yeah. I love West Coast golf, Clay, because that means you can kind of do your stuff during the day and you get prime time golf. I love Pebble Beach. You know, this event, when they play out west, they played up in San Francisco a few years ago, Olympic Park. I love when they play out west because we get to enjoy it after dinner.
Yeah, this is a cool place too. And I don't know about how much it costs to be a member there and all that, but it's the most exclusive place in L.A.
I don't know either, but it's more than 100 a month. It's more than 100 a month.
Yeah, but here's the deal: there's courses, and there's one in Central Arkansas that you don't call and say, "Hey, I want to sign up." they send you a letter, and I think that's the way LA Country Club is.
Could very much be the case when it comes to that golf course. But again, gets going about 10 minutes from now. We'll get a chance to watch them tee off at the U.S. Open. I want to tell you about my friends at Wheeler Power Sports, Jeff Wheeler, Daniel Blue. They're helping you out this summer conquer the great outdoors with the Suzuki King Quad ATV. It has it all. Whether you want to haul heavy loads or you just want to explore the landscapes here in Arkansas, you can do that at Wheeler Power Sports. And they're helping you with lots of ways to hit the trail. Low APR financing, low monthly payments, and discounts for the military and first responders. Come on by and see them at Wheeler Power Sports. Again, the Suzuki King Quad ATV, 901 11th Street in downtown Fort Smith. SEC update when we come back.
Follow the show on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine.
This is former Razorback, wide receiver, and All-American track and field athlete Richard Smith, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Are you ready to roll this hay season? WT Equipment in Springdale is, and they're offering 0% for 60 months or cash back on select New Holland tractors, telehandlers, and hay equipment during the Ready to Roll sales event going on right now. Being ready for tomorrow starts today. Get ready to roll with WT Equipment in Springdale and take advantage of the best deals of the year. Hurry, the offer ends June 30th. For commercial use only. Customer participation subject to credit qualification and CNH Industrial Capital America LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and other restrictions apply. Down payment may be required.
Tommy Smith for Bet Saracen.
Hey, if you're like me and enjoy putting a little something on your favorite sporting event, then get Bet Saracen. Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 sports betting app. Download the app or go to BetSaracen.com. Oh, and by the way, I finally upgraded my 20-year-old flip phone so I can actually play too.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
This is The Morning Rush.
Touchdown, Razorback!
Barrels and Brews Bottle Shop at the Hub in Chaffee Crossing has everything you need for your favorite activities this summer. In stock now, Yellowstone Single Barrel Bourbon. This amazing allocation is one of a kind and only available at Barrels and Brews. Don't forget about Wine Wednesday and choose from our large selection of top shelf wine, beer, and spirits. Order online or call ahead and we'll bring it to your car. Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. at the Hub in Chaffee Crossing. Barrels and Brews. It'll put a smile on your face.
Was your roof damaged by recent storms? Don't fall victim to out-of-town contractors and fly-by-night repairmen. Trust the local roofing professionals at Able Roofing. Call their local number, 474-0006, for a free roof inspection. Never trust something as important as the roofing system on your home to a storm chaser. Able Roofing, 474-0006, will work with your insurance company. Call now for your free roof inspection, 474-0006. Able Roofing, the hometown roofers.
Come into Wheeler Power Sports today and gear up with the dependable Suzuki King Quad ATV, because we know there's no rest for the rugged. Its unparalleled combination of power, versatility, and reliability allow you to tackle the toughest terrains with ease. Low APR financing, low monthly payments for qualified buyers, discounts for military, first responders, and so much more. Roll into Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith and experience the Suzuki King Quad ATV's unmatched capabilities today.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance, and Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren, 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headache.
Shop Meadows Lumber True Value for great bargains of the month. A 2-pack of 16-pound original charcoal by Kingsford is only $19.88. Right now, a 3x5 cotton American flag by Annan is just $15.99. Complete your outdoor patio set with a Four Seasons Courtyard, Sunny Isles, extra large, zero gravity chair for $59.99. A 108-piece mechanics tool and socket set is $89.99. A 10-piece screwdriver set by DeWalt is just $19.99. Don't miss out. Get these bargains of the month while supplies last. Meadows Lumber True Value.
Family first. My dad used to tell us that all the time. But family first wasn't just something he'd say to us. It was how he lived every day of his life. And it's how I try to live mine too.
At Shelter Insurance, our agents are dedicated to helping provide personalized auto, home, and life protection that puts your family first.
Call Phil Hicks in Greenwood or Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith.
Attention car shoppers. In the market for a new ride? Look no further than Road Chevrolet Van Buren, your trusted destination for great selection and unbeatable prices. We have dozens of new Chevrolets on the way, waiting to land in your driveway. Reserve yours today and don't pay 1 penny over MSRP. Have a car to sell? Road Chevrolet wants to buy your car even if you don't buy from us. Getting a hassle-free appraisal only takes a few minutes. Buying or selling a car doesn't have to be a stressful experience when you deal with the pros at Road Chevrolet Van Buren. Prices you'll love, people you can trust.
This is Ty Richardson. When I think of rich history and tradition in Fort Smith, I think of Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria has won the best pizza and bar in Fort Smith the past 25 straight years. So if you want to experience legendary pizza, awesome drinks, and memories for a lifetime, swing by Papa's, 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Somebody said we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
So 2024 schedule came out with the different home and away opponents last night on the XCC network. Many of you watched it. Many of you have been listening to this morning. Lots of positive takes on Arkansas' schedule. But when you look at the other SEC teams, I tend to agree with Tommy. Auburn's got a tough gauntlet in 2024, and it ain't easy for Oklahoma either, guys.
No, and you know Oklahoma and Texas obviously got a taste of everyone in the league. They're waking up this morning in both those, in Austin and Norman, and realizing their fan base at least, hey, there's no Kansas on here. There's no Kansas State. There's no Texas Tech. I mean, it's a major step up in class, what's getting ready to happen for both those. And they knew it, but I think reality set in last night when it was announced.
Yeah, one of my best friends from my Tulsa days, 14 years, a dentist, and we served as deacons at Southern Hills Baptist Church, and he sent me a text last night, and he goes, "This is BS." I said, well, what you think was about to happen?
Yeah.
And he goes, this isn't what I signed up. I said, well, I don't think they asked you.
Yeah.
But it is reality. It is okay, this is what we're going to do. And like you say, that, it's like it's their worst nightmare. And that's obviously the reason Lincoln Riley left. I mean, it's like he says, no, it's not. And everybody that knows him says, yeah, it is. That's the reason he left. Yeah. And it was coming, and and it wouldn't matter. You could draw it up a different way, and it'd still be a gauntlet, because that's what the SEC, Joe Kynes, said it best. And it was in the spring of 92, ahead of, they were going to play Citadel, coming up, and Jack Crow didn't even make it to the first SEC game. But he says in the SEC, if you sit in the front row, wear a raincoat, because they slit your throat and drink your blood, and you're gonna get splashed with blood. So that's what Oklahoma and Texas had to look forward to, and it's reality.
And
it's
guess
here.
what? The 25 schedule, the 26, the 27, they're all going to be of similar difficulty for everybody.
No question.
Without divisions,
and it could be 9 games.
It could be, but without divisions, the process of trying guys to get a competitively balanced schedule, and that's equal across the board. I think they found a formula they like. They'll tweak it as they go along, but I think you could give the league an A+ on trying to get this thing balanced out, and they kind of checked all the boxes with me. But I mean, it's going to be this. It's going to be this way every year from now on. Just get used to it.
So Tommy referenced the formula there. Let's go over it real quick for those who haven't seen it. So each of the existing conference opponents, we're going to either get Texas or Oklahoma, which is how that played out. No school was going to travel the same location where it was in 2023. Didn't have that issue for Arkansas or anyone else. And the opponents were based on the traditional opponents factor, which we're seeing the rivalries that have been kept, which is great, and the balance of overall schedule strength, which is being reported the last 10 or so years. They basically did the overall record, did the percentage, placed teams in the category, and set it up like that. So I'm with Tommy. I don't see a lot of fan base bickering that you usually do from the conference that you saw last night, because I think a lot of people feel like, you know what, they did a pretty decent job, and I feel that same way as well.
It's almost an impossible task, and I don't think I could have sit there and spent a week and done any better. I really don't. And I always think I could have done better than that. I don't this time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I'm just looking over it. We were talking earlier. Arkansas and A&M were the only schools that avoided Bama or Georgia. I'm thinking, as I look through it, that Auburn may be the only school, unless I'm missing one here, that gets – no, Tennessee does. Auburn and Tennessee both get Bama and Georgia. So those are the schools that have to deal with both of those. So what I'm saying is when they realign or regroup again for 25 or 26, when you get one or both, don't be complaining, because you kind of got the best end of that stick. Texas also has both. So, I mean – remember these things moving forward, because all of it will balance out over time.
It makes me really sad that Texas got both.
Yeah, Texas, Tennessee, and Auburn all have to play Bama and Georgia. Texas gets Georgia at home, and
I don't
they
think
have Bama. They don't have Bama. No. I'm sorry, that's not right. I'm just kind of looking at this on the fly. So take Texas off that list, but Auburn and Tennessee have to play them both.
So I had heard, one of my Oklahoma friends is like, well, we might lose 2 games in the SEC in, the first year. And then if, we have a problem with our quarterback or whatever, you might lose 3. And I was talking to my buddy last night. I said, how many you think your boys can handle? And he says, man, I'm starting to think 4-4 is I was like, there you go. That's, that's 4-4. If you break even, you probably got a really good bowl game. If you win 4 games in the SEC, you did well. If you went 5-3, hey, you're right outside the top 10.
Clay, I know you're respectable with the conversations that you have with your friends, but if my former Oklahoma roommate told me that, I would have called him an idiot. They lost to Texas 59-0 last year. Venables went 6-7 last year.
No, and he gets it. He gets it. Yeah.
I don't know how you can. I don't know how
he thinks they're at a low point.
Well, they are. I mean,
yeah.
20 plus years.
But they won't be at a low point in 2 years. Is what he was. What he thinks. Because they've never done. It's never been 3 years. But I'm telling you, if Venables has another year like, they won't. They'll just fire him.
Yeah, and I don't know who they'll go get. I know Heupel was a name
it'll be a good coach.
Yeah.
They pay.
Yeah, I mean, they're in the SEC now. Not only do they have the money to pay, but there will be.
They've always had the money to pay.
Yeah, but I mean, now they really gonna have the money. So it won't be a money issue. It won't be a brand or a recruiting issue. They'll have their pick of the litter now that they're on this level.
Yeah, and Arkansas hopefully gets them in 2025, and that's I mean. Some people disagree with this. I think Texas is more set up to have success in the Southeastern Conference than Oklahoma is. I hope I'm wrong.
Why do you say that?
Because I think Sark's coached in this league. I know Venables has won national championships.
But what has he done?
He had the best offense maybe in the history of college football under Nick Saban with Mac Jones, Devontae.
No. What has he done as a head coach?
As a head coach? That's fair.
He's flopped.
Yeah, and he had the alcohol problems.
He had Bama beat, but the call on the field, a few things. He should have beat Bama last year. And we'd be talking much different about Sark, but he didn't.
And we saw his team. We saw what it was. I mean, they came in here and Arkansas stroked him.
Yeah, and that was year one for him. But then again, they had Bama on.
I don't care. Yeah.
But
he's been a head coach at Southern Cal. We have a track record for him, and we have a track record for Texas over the last 10 years. They have failed to average 7 victories a year. At the University of Texas, I'm telling you, this is not the University of Texas football program. It has fallen so far.
So do you think Oklahoma's better suited and set up to
I don't think either one of them are right now. I mean, I mean, which one's better? They're going to get stroked. They've never attempted anything like this. I mean, Texas has always had Rice, SMU, TCU, the old TCU, and Oklahoma's always had, Kansas State, Kansas. I mean, Kansas State, they've been up and down, but mostly down. And Missouri was never really that strong, except for maybe 3 or 4 years.
With Pinkel, yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about in the old Big 8. I mean, that was bloodletting for Oklahoma. They had Iowa State. Now, Iowa State's better with their current coach, but that hadn't been the case. So they have never attempted anything like this, and it will be a lot of heartbreak for them. I mean, it's just coming.
Clay, I've never wanted you to be right more in my entire life. Because I think that, again, the rude awakening, the reckoning that fan base for both schools in Austin, Texas, and Norma, Oklahoma are going to get the next couple of years is probably going to play out. And I just hope it is that way.
I mean, I just don't see anything that tells me that Brent Venables is a strong head coach that can coach offense and defense and understands it. And I have not seen any evidence that Sarkisian has gotten his life under control and can be a strong head coach. He keeps making mistakes.
Not to be flip about it, but this is the kind of schedule that will make you drink as a head coach when you're dealing with some of these schools.
Yeah, it will.
So, yeah. All right, that's your SEC update. It is brought to you by our friends at Wheels RV, where they're never going to have any hidden fees, document prep fees, delivery fees, a fee for the battery to go in to get the thing going. When they give you a price, that's turnkey, off the lot. No, I forgot to tell you. It was in the fine print. There's no gotcha stuff with Wheels RV. In fact, not only do they do that, they go an extra step and back up everything because they feel so great about it with a lifetime warranty. So you'll always get a lifetime warranty with everything from Wheels RV when you buy a brand new RV from Wheels. So don't worry about any hidden fees, gotcha stuff. They don't do business like that at Wheels RV. 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
All right, last thing as we close out the show. Guys, again, Arkansas schedule. LSU, Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Texas at home, at Auburn, at Mississippi State, at Missouri, and then taking on Texas A&M and Jerry Wool. I know we're really excited about the 2024 schedule for Arkansas. What is the one SEC game that you're looking forward to the most? For me, it's Alabama hosting Georgia, which we expect to be in November. What about you guys?
Oh, I mean, Texas is the answer. I'm glad you're playing A&M. I guess if there's one game you're maybe looking forward to, it's Tennessee being back on the schedule for me and being in your building. So I'll go with the Arkansas-Tennessee game from the Arkansas perspective.
All those T's. Yeah, I like them all.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I think it's awful lot of fun for us. It is no fun for Sam Pittman. He's, it's a good home schedule, and fans are going to just delight in it. Keep your quarterback healthy, and you got a shot.
And I brought this up. I don't think it's going to happen. Technically, KJ has a year of eligibility. I don't think he'll play in 2024 for the Arkansas Razorbacks. I would expect.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't. And the reason why, because if he doesn't, it means he had a great year and he's ready for the NFL.
Good point. Yeah,
exactly right. So,
yeah, we'll bring on Jacoby Criswell. Yep.
So tomorrow's the day you've dreamed of, Clay, and you're not even going to be here. Ty's going to be gone. It's just going to be me and Chuck tomorrow. I mean,
gosh, I might join y'all.
You may come in and do a freebie tomorrow, right?
Hey, can I be Ty's replacement? I will never had an easier job.
You don't have what it takes, Clay. Let's just say we're all thinking. You don't have the stomach for it.
We're all feeling like we're on vacation
I can
tomorrow.
be bad and be better than you.
So me and Chuck and maybe Clay.
I mean, I've never had standards so low.
Hey, I'm at the river. You can come over and look at the Eagles
Ty,
flying.
whatever you're doing tomorrow, you have fun.
Thanks, buddy. Hey, it's like I always say, you undershoot and you overperform. I've done that my entire life.
Yeah.
I appreciate everyone that listen. Happy Father's Day weekend.
At Wheels RV in Springdale, Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fit.